podcast you're about to listen to is it's got cursing in it and adult themes and some sexual discussions and if you don't want to hear that, then you probably should leave now. And if you're under the age of 18, then you I probably shouldn't be listening. But what am I gonna do to stop you? So yeah, that's the warning. Chewie, we're home.
Anyway, hello everyone, I am Zazubaar, and welcome to this week's fantastic episode of the Demons from Outer Space. Joining me as always is my good friend and fucking fellow podcaster, Dylan McCandless, aka Super DM64.
Yeah, hi there.
So kids, I have promised Dylan that I'm going to make his day a magical day. Like, I know the day is almost over, or at least it is for me, like it's almost midnight, but whatever remaining is left of the day, I'm going to make it so much better for Dylan by revealing this existence to him. So, Dylan, in the wonderful fucking day of the 1970s, the day of the 1970s, not the decade, the day, they being the Chinese, they made what I believe to be illegally, unofficially produced Dragon Ball movie. Mm. And now that I said it came out in the 1970s, that doesn't make any fucking sense, because Dragon Ball didn't exist back then. So when the fuck did this come out? I'm gonna look it up. Dragon Ball Chinese movie. I was just like, in this 1970s, and I'm like, wait a minute. Dragon Ball didn't exist back then. It came out in, when did it come out? Come on, Japan. Oh, not Japan. This was Chinese.
Come on, Japan.
It's like, Japan, what are you doing? It's like, nothing. We had nothing to do with this.
Get on this shit, Japan.
Wait a minute. Maybe this is based on the fucking actual myth that Dragon Ball is based on, which is a Chinese myth, but it's called Dragon Ball, The Magic Begins. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Wouldn't be the first
no, I'm totally right. This came out in 1986. I'm absolutely, completely right. So, it's an unofficial, what? And this is a sequel? Oh, no, okay. Alright. So this is fucking insane what I'm reading right now. So the live-action Chinese Dragon Ball movie. So Dylan, we should probably explain. I think we've talked about this before, but Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball are based on a Chinese myth called the Legend of the Monkey King or something. I'm sorry. It's called Journey to the West. I don't know where I got that title from. The story is called Journey to the West.
There is a Monkey King. Yeah.
There is a Monkey King in it. That's who Goku is kind of replacing in the anime. And his name is Goku in the actual story. And there have been a plethora of adaptations of Journey to the West. Several live action. There's a movie on Netflix that's based on it. There was a game recently called fucking something based on it.
Fucking something.
I forget what it was called. Maybe it was called Journey to the West, but it was like a futuristic fucking beat 'em up version of that story. It got good reviews though, so who knows? But it might have actually been called Journey to the West. And Dragon Ball is based on that story.
Well, yes, it is.
So, according to this Wikipedia page, the unofficial live-action Dragon Ball remake, and I say remake because the movie is apparently a direct adaptation of the Dragon Ball feature film, The Legend of Shenlong, which is better known in the U.S. as Dragon Ball Curse of the Blood Rubies, which is the first animated movie based on the cartoon, which I have on VHS. Which explains so much about when I watched this for the first time, why I was like, this is nothing like the first season of the show. And it's way more like the fucking movie, and it's because it's an adaptation of that movie, so that changes things. I didn't watch the full movie because it was fucking horrible, though it was certainly closer to the cartoon and the anime, and the cartoon and the anime, the same thing, the anime and the manga than fucking Dragon Ball Evolution. But whether or not it was better, I mean, it's kind of debatable. I certainly got more joy out of Dragon Ball Evolution in terms of making fun of it, but maybe that's just out of my own personal nostalgia. Yeah, so this movie exists, Dylan. How much is your world shocked?
Sounds pretty shitty, not gonna...
I mean, I saw parts of it. The special effects were awful, but the thing that shocked me was, like, they were fucking firing guns and killing people, and I was like, that's badass.
Well, that shit happens in classic Dragon Ball.
I know, people die and shit.
I mean, the fucking...
But seeing it in live action just makes it feel real in a sense that it doesn't when you're watching the anime. Like, people die in the anime all the time, and I'm just like, Jesus, people are fucking getting shot.
I mean, the Red Ribbon Army was called...
Nobody gets shot in Dragon Ball. People fucking blow up and beat each other to pulps, but they don't fucking shoot each other.
They do sometimes in the old shit, because, I mean, the Red Ribbon Army is called an army for a reason.
I mean, they have guns, but did they ever just blatantly gun somebody down? Not really. Not that I remember.
I mean, gunfire is the thing that happens.
I'm not saying they don't fire their guns, I'm just saying nobody gets gunned down to death as they do in the movie.
And then in DBZ, fucking dude shot a dog.
A dude shot... Oh, yeah. What was that? What part was that in?
That was...
Was that in the opening with Raditz?
No. The dog... Well, we might be thinking of a different dog with the dog on.
Because I'm thinking of the fucking opening of DBZ with the farmer, the rice farmer, who encounters Raditz for the first time, and that's like the only time I recall in DBZ where somebody like fired a gun and it was made a big deal because Raditz blocked the bullets.
Yeah, no, it's in the Boo saga, that fucking dog that he takes up with. Like, the dude shoots him, right? And then that's what makes Boo fly off the hinges and turn into fucking crispy-ass evil Boo.
Oh, you're right. That's absolutely right. Okay, I remember that now. Man, that show really, really changed over the years. It went from opening in a rice farm to fucking the earth blowing up and then getting rebuilt because magic.
Yeah.
So it went far. So I'm looking at it.
When the fucking show started, we didn't even know that Goku was an alien. I mean, we were so naive.
So apparently, since it's an unofficial live-action remake of the first Dragon Ball feature film, apparently they couldn't release it anywhere outside of China because China has bizarre copyright laws. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but China has really weird... They don't acknowledge international copyright. So you can fucking get away with murder in China that you can't in other places, but that means you can't release it outside of China. So this movie was released in the U.S. as Dragon's Pearl, and apparently it was released on DVD as recently as 2007 in an Ultimate Edition, which is a full 15 minutes longer than the original cut. So holy shit, this movie has history and shit. I'm looking at the villains. They're really nothing like the actual villains of the show. I guess this guy here, I'll send you a picture. I'm guessing that this guy is supposed to be Pilaf, but I don't know if he's actually called Pilaf in the movie. Here, I'll send you a picture. Here, that's the villains. So on the left, we've got what looks to be Akira Takarada. I know this guy's Chinese, not Japanese, but ignore my white ignorance. Holding a shotgun and wearing sunglasses and a fluffy dress. Then you've got a gremlin in a Rita Repulsa costume in the middle. And then on the right, you have Xena, warrior princess, with a blonde wig on.
Yeah, I'm taking that this is, again, more based on the actual legend than Dragon Ball. But I'm assuming that the little fucking guy...
No, but scroll to the left and you can tell it's fucking based on the anime. I mean, it's hilarious to look at how they adapted it, but they fucking did it. Roshi is pretty much right out of the anime.
This little guy here that looks like a strange mixture of of fucking Garlic Jr. and Deborah and Rita Repulsa. Obviously, that's our Pilaf.
In the synopsis, he's called King Horn, though.
King Horn.
So maybe to avoid as much copyright as possible, they didn't use the villains, but it's pretty clear, like, the left one is supposed to be like a fucking fill-in for the dog, and then the middle one's Pilaf, and the one on the right is Mai.
Yeah. Which one?
That's what they're supposed to be filling in for. Is that a white chick on the right, by the way, playing Mai?
So they went
playing...
from ninja dog to black guy with a machine gun.
That guy's not black.
He's not?
No.
He just looks black in this picture.
He's got dark skin. So click to the left, and you'll see the cast of, like, the actual characters.
He's wearing an incredibly stupid outfit.
Who?
The fucking dog guy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So you're seeing this picture of the actual cast?
Which of these is supposed to be Krillin? They all have noses.
I think the guy on the far right is supposed to be Krillin. So then the one then going from there, the next to him is Goku. Next to him is Grandpa Gohan, who I don't think dies in the movie.
Huh.
I don't remember. Then that's Roshi, obviously. Roshi's actually pretty close. Then you've got who I presume to be Bulma, maybe. And then, is that supposed to be Yamcha?
A really fat Yamcha?
He looks like a 45-year-old Yamcha, which that's supposed to be Yamcha. I hope they don't do the whole romance with Bulma, because that's mad creepy.
Also, he's dressed like fucking Rambo. Looks like
he's dressed like
It looks like Rambo, like turned Asian for some reason, and then just retired and started eating donuts.
Gained a lot of weight. Yeah, he looks like fucking There's a character in one of the Godzilla movies that looks like him. He reminds me of the hippie from Godzilla vs. Gigan.
The corn guy?
Yeah, the corn guy.
Not the corn guy.
He reminds me of the corn guy. They got Goku's costume pretty close. He doesn't have a tail, obviously, and he didn't have one in Evolution either. And then, who's on the far left? Maybe that's supposed to be Bulma?
Well, to be fair, it's kind of hard to fuck up Goku's costume. I mean, they fucked it up.
They have fucked it up in fucking Dragon Ball Evolution, but
that was one of the few things about that movie that I didn't mind. I didn't mind that. The new look for Piccolo was kind of bullshit, but I didn't mind.
I will always say that doing Dragon Ball Z in live action is almost always not going to work for me. The only time it ever got close was that Light of Hope movie that you showed me.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
That was the absolute closest thing, in my opinion, you will ever get to doing Dragon Ball Z on film in a respectful sense. And even then, it was great, but I was like, I still just want to see it animated. I just want it animated. I don't need live action Dragon Ball Z. There are millions of superhero movies that have a style that can work in live action. I don't think Dragon Ball Z needs to be in live action.
Mm-hmm. Although recently, I did see a fucking thing on DeviantArt where somebody did Majin Buu, Super Buu to be exact, in fucking full like 3D or 3D like CG.
You showed me this. It was fucking creepy.
It was like, that actually looks pretty fucking badass. I wouldn't mind that. But yeah.
You know, now that I'm looking at this picture, I think the one on the far left is supposed to be Bulma, and the one in the middle is supposed to be Chi-Chi.
That would make sense, because Bulma's
got a gun, and also she looks at least somewhat closer in age to Yamcha. They're at least similar heights. Even then, there still seems to be quite an age distance that still disturbs me. Man, look, Yamcha's got moobs. Yamcha's got fucking moobs.
Yeah.
And are those corpses in the background?
Why not?
Are those just dead peasants? Look at that.
It's hard in China, man.
I guess so. If the one on the far right is supposed to be Krillin, damn, they fucked him up bad. Unless he's supposed to be Oolong, I guess that's possible. Maybe it's Oolong, Dylan.
Is he a pig?
No, he's a guy in a white dress, but I'm assuming he's not Krillin because oh, you know what? He totally is Krillin. Didn't Krillin wear something like that in the cartoon? Like a white costume, kind of?
A white dress? I don't remember.
White with gold. Isn't that what he showed up in the beginning? He showed up in like white and gold, like ninja costume or something?
I thought he showed up in blue and black. No, I don't remember him wearing white.
He's got to be Krillin. There's nobody else he could possibly be.
Notice that they never made that a fucking playable character in the video games. Nobody ever wants to be Kid Krillin.
Kid Krillin?
Yeah, Kid Krillin.
That's a good point.
They always have Kid Goku and Kid Gohan and Kid everybody. Nobody ever puts in Kid Krillin, and it's a problem because Krillin didn't always look the way he does in Z, and it's like, I don't know.
Okay, I just found a character list, and apparently, yeah, we were wrong on this. So, alright, so you got Goku. And then you've got, Sito, who is Bulma.
This is what Krillin was wearing when he first showed up, Bill. It's not yellow. I mean, it's not white. It's
okay. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. I probably am. It's gold though, and the costume that the character has is gold. He's not Krillin. I've learned, so it's not Krillin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So Sito's based on fucking Bulma. She runs over Goku like she does in the cartoon. Then there's a Sparkle, who is, you're never going to believe who he's supposed to be, is fucking Grandpa Gohan.
Wait, which one is Sparkle? The fat guy?
Yeah, no, Sparkle is Grandpa Gohan.
Which one?
The other one in the orange costume who's not Goku.
Oh, the older one?
Yeah.
Oh.
So then you've got, oh my god, this is amazing. Then you've got Piggy, who is an overweight, shape-shifting man who accompanies Son Goku and Sito on their journey to gather the dragon. Oh, they're not called Dragon Balls, they're called Dragon Pearls.
Okay.
He is the descendant of Zhu Baiji, the pig fairy in English dub based on Oolong of the original Dragon Ball series.
So the fat guy is Oolong.
Yeah, okay, so I was really wrong on that. So yeah, the fat guy is Oolong.
He's a pig.
Oh.
In many ways.
Wait a minute, so who the fuck is this supposed... Oh, the one on the far right is... No way.
The one
on the far right is supposed to be Yamcha?
The one in the white?
Yeah, that's supposed to be Yamcha.
Oh, okay.
He's called La Ping. I guess that makes more sense though, since
you know what? If this is based off like the very earliest Dragon Ball stuff, then that makes sense because they wouldn't have even have met Krillin yet.
Yeah, it's based on the first movie. Oh yeah, there's no way Krillin would be in this if it's based on the first movie.
Because Krillin shows up on Master Roshi's island to train with Goku after the fucking shit with Pilaf has already went down.
And the little girl is not Chi-Chi, and she's not based on Chi-Chi. She's based on the kid from Dragon Ball Curse of the Blood Rubies that goes to seek out Master Roshi to fight off the evil warlord.
Oh, okay, so she's not important at all.
Oh, so you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, these motherfuckers are not based on fucking Pilaf and those guys at all. They're based on those...
The villain from the Blood Ruby movie.
Yeah, so King Horn is the dragon guy.
Which are based on Pilaf. Because if you really think about it, all these Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies, the villains are just sort of vague copies or vague.
No, he's pretty different though, Dylan. He's kind of like he's not even really all that evil. He's got a curse. And he's trying to use the Dragon Balls to cure himself. So he's not really doing anything that horrible. He just happens to be a fucking deplorable dictator, but he gets better after the end of the movie and he becomes a good king. So then that means that this makes way more sense than I made it up before. So the guy on the left is based on the big guy from the movie, with the machine gun. So that's almost directly adapted. The guy in the middle is the dragon, so obviously pretty close. The costume's different, but apparently they couldn't do the giant dragon monster that he is in the movie, so they did the best they could. And then the one on the far right, yeah, she was a blonde, like Caucasian woman in the movie too, so that makes more sense. So it's actually a pretty straight-up adaptation of the movie, except there's a couple things changed for budgetary reasons, like fucking Oolong.
You know who else they never put in the fucking games?
Who?
Fucking Vegeta as a kid. I would love to play as Vegeta as a kid.
They never did?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think I guess the youngest Vegeta they did was the fucking alternate color Vegeta from the opening of DBZ.
Yeah, it's always fucking Scouter Vegeta is the earliest Vegeta that they ever put in the fucking games.
Although I think in Budokai 3, if not mistaken, I very well could be, you could play as Goku and Vegeta Jr. from GT. I think maybe you could have done that.
No.
You sure?
I don't think so.
How come I remember playing as them then? I know you could play as Kid Goku.
You can play as Kid Goku.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm getting confused with then. Could you use alternate costumes for him, like have the Dragon Ball GT costume too? Which I know isn't that different from the Dragon Ball costume, but it is a little bit different.
Wait a minute. I might be wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, I remember playing as Goku Jr. in something.
Okay, no, like, everything I read says that they're not in the game. But then, I see fucking images of them, and they look like they're from the game, so I'm...
Maybe they're from Tenkaichi?
No.
I'm gonna look this up too then. We can work on it together. The whole movie is on Netflix. Not on Netflix, on fucking YouTube if you want to watch it.
Oh, apparently there's a mod.
That was a good fight, by the way. At the end of GT.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fight where you can put them in there's a mod where you can put them in Budokai 3, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a, Oh, there's a trailer for Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Anyway.
Well, there's two things up. There's an official teaser that's a teaser for the teaser trailer that's going to come up on Monday, and then the teaser trailer leaked earlier today. And I couldn't make out heads or tail on what the fuck I was looking at. So I think it's going to be like the Godzilla teaser where it's in really bad quality and everybody's like, it looks like shit. And then it comes out and everybody's like, holy shit, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing ever. And I'm like, do you have any idea how bad the quality is? Like, give them a fucking chance. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, let them have something. Like, Jesus, DC has been getting nothing but shit lately. The only good thing they've got going that people seem to like is The Flash. Like, everybody's crapping on Arrow now.
Yeah, used to people liked Arrow, but I've noticed a serious shift.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, it's fucking horrible. And I'm like, I don't care, but alright.
And I mean, maybe...
Like, give DC something, God.
And I don't know, I don't watch Arrow. I saw, like, the first episode a while ago. I don't watch Arrow.
I've seen half of the first season, it's not the greatest thing ever. And the problem is, now that I've seen Marvel's Daredevil, I have absolutely no reason to watch Arrow. Because everything I've seen of Arrow is, like, done 10 times better in Daredevil.
Maybe the quality of Arrow has gone down over time. I don't know.
I mean, they're in, like, what, season 4 now? Season 3 or 4? So it's entirely possible that the show just got bad. That happens. Happens in shows I love. House, Angel.
Didn't happen in Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's a little different. Breaking Bad is kind of like... Breaking Bad is one of those things where it's like, if there's stuff you don't like, you can't pin it to a season. It's a problem of the entire show. Because it's hard to break up Breaking Bad by seasons because it's kind of one big story.
Yeah. It's really fucking well written, but you can't use that as an excuse for other shit. You can't say you can't excuse another show's weakness by saying, well, it's not Breaking Bad.
What do you mean?
Like fucking I don't fucking know.
So you're saying that because Breaking Bad.
I'm saying that
I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. What are you saying, dude?
I'm saying that my standards are higher now, and I think everyone should be.
Oh, you're blaming Breaking Bad for every other show, going like, oh, this isn't as good as Breaking Bad.
I don't know if I'm necessarily breaking them. I'm just saying that for me personally, my standards have gone up because the bar has been raised.
That's what Daredevil... Listen, have you checked out the new Daredevil show yet?
Not yet.
Dude. I'm going to say this, and people will be like, you're a fucking idiot, but I think this is absolutely, with very little debate possible, true. It is the Breaking Bad of superhero television. And not just because, like, oh, it's so good. It's similarly structured to Breaking Bad in a couple of ways.
I don't doubt it, because Netflix has shown their ability to do this with original series before, with the obvious bad examples. But
yeah, Hemlock Grove, obviously. But here's why I say this. You know, Breaking Bad, I would always go on these kind of, I'm going to call them tangents, which is weird to say in a TV show, but that's kind of what they were, like, just really deep character development. That wasn't really necessary to the overall story, but it was still awesome and showed how good the show was.
Yeah.
And it takes your time with everything. That's what Daredevil does.
That's what I love about that Fly episode from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and Daredevil, it's like, the other thing about Daredevil is that they're like, not every single episode has to have a major fight with Daredevil in it.
Mm.
So like there are like 2 episodes in a row where Matt Murdock doesn't put the costume on, but it's no less interesting because it's an overarching crime drama. The Kingpin is so well developed. he is really likable. I mean, he's a horrible human being, but his heart. This is gonna sound weird, but his heart's in the right place.
Is he better than he was in the movie?
Michael Clark Duncan wasn't horrible, but it's strange though because whenever they do Daredevil in live action, somebody who was white in the comics always has to be made black. So this time they kept Kingpin white, and then they made Ben Urich black. But I don't care because the guy who plays Ben Urich in the show is fucking awesome. So I'm all for it.
But they never. But they've never made Daredevil black.
Not yet. I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
They have to keep the White Devil.
Oh, and dude, I'm gonna not spoil this as much as possible because seeing it for yourself is fucking amazing. But when he gets in the real costume, holy shit!
The real costume.
Well, yeah, like because the black one that you see in all the promo stuff is not the final costume. That's the one he uses for the season, but he constantly says it's a work in progress. Because he's not sure where exactly he wants to take the image of the vigilante that he does.
That's like that fucking ski mask that Bruce Wayne wears during the flashback in Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, and also in Batman Begins. It's cooler than that, though, because it actually is based on something from the comics, like and also from Daredevil kind of screen stuff. Because Daredevil's been done in live action 3 times, counting the show. The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which was the first time Daredevil was put on screen, and is a weird movie because it's like it's a decent adaptation of the Daredevil lore, but the Hulk is just thrown into it. It's really bizarre. And it's weird because there's an awesome issue of Daredevil where he does fight the Hulk, and it's fucking awesome.
It's like the relationship between Jet Jaguar and Godzilla in fucking Godzilla vs. Megalon. Like,
yeah,
hey,
but it's
here's
almost
a movie about Jet Jaguar. Also, here's Godzilla, he'll get title credit.
It's better than that because David Banner is still the protagonist at least. Like Godzilla's not the main character in that movie, even kind of. He's not even the main. He's like the least important monster in that movie. But David Banner is still the protagonist, and it's better than the fucking Thor Hulk movie that came out in the 80s. The Incredible Hulk Returns. I should rewatch it though now that I know more about Daredevil. Anyway. Yeah. And then they have the movie, which, everybody has a different opinion on, depending on which version of it you're talking about. Because there's the theatrical version, which most people agree is horrible, and then there's the director's cut, which a lot of people say is awesome. I don't know. I haven't seen the director's cut yet, but now that I fell in love with the TV show, I kind of want to.
And obviously it must have made money, because they made the fucking Elektra movie.
Yeah, it was. It was successful.
Which is a thing I always forget happened, but there was an Elektra movie. Yeah,
but it barely has anything to do with the Daredevil movie. They were going to do that anyway.
Were they? I don't know.
And actually, hang on, when did that come out? Because there's a chance it might have been in production before Daredevil even came out. No, they waited until after it. No, it came out in 2005. That movie came out in 2005?
What, Elektra or Daredevil?
Yeah, Elektra. Daredevil came out in 2003.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the Elektra movie has almost nothing to do with the Daredevil movie. It obviously has to, at least in some sense, be in continuity, quote-unquote, with it, but they make no reference to the events of Daredevil whatsoever, except that Elektra died in some sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you want to talk about a movie that fucking bombed.
Yeah.
Ooh, Elektra. Poor Elektra. They didn't do her in the show yet, but they did make they made a slight reference, to a Greek girl that Matt Murdock tried to date in college, so maybe that was supposed to be Elektra, but they're building stuff up in the show, so I think they're going to do her in the second season.
So how does he get his fucking... Who makes the suit? Because I just have this image in my head of this blind dude, like, awkwardly trying to sew a superhero costume.
No, they addressed that because.
I don't want to spoil
Dylan. I don't want to spoil this because this show is so fucking good. But
he goes out to fight crime, and it's this sloppy-looking piece of shit.
Everybody made that joke though, where I was like, "Oh, does anybody else not like the new Daredevil costume?" And everybody's like, "He's supposed to be blind, right? So of course you don't like it." I'm like, "Oh, that's very clever."
The blind people are shitty tailors. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing: he's not really blind. He is blind, but he's not like he's not completely devoid of sight. Because he's got that sonar shit that he uses. They get into it in the show. He's not. He can see. Basically, is the point that they make.
His devil senses are tingling.
It's pretty much what it is, though. Is the thing. His powers are really awesome. Awesomely shown.
I don't remember what they're called. Fucking Daredevil's thing. His fucking
His sonar? That's what it's called.
No, they had a name for it in like the old comics. I don't fucking remember.
Oh, you're right. I forget what they call it. But anyway, they explain all of it pretty well. It's all very subtle. What I was glad was like they didn't really focus too much on the origin. Everything they did about the origin was all character stuff that you needed to develop Matt Murdock's character. They showed the accident for like 2 seconds, and that was all they needed to do. It's like 2 seconds of him right after he gets blinded. And they pretty much assume, like, Daredevil's origin is so simple that it's like you don't need to really get into it because all that matters is he's blind, he's got superpowers of some sense, and now he's fucking pissed, and he's trying to stop the shit that's going on in Hell's Kitchen. So, that's the story. And then we move on from there. But in terms of the costume, again, I'm not going to spoil anything because it would be spoilers to tell you where he gets the costume from. So basically, it's in the new version. It's body armor. It's not like the comics where it's like skin tight.
Of course, it's body armor.
Well, they make a point in the show because he says towards the beginning, like, I don't want to wear body armor because I won't be able to move as fast. And somebody's like, you're half dead. You need body armor.
You won't be able to move as fast, but you'll be able to die less fast. How's that?
No, at the end of the show, they show you why he needs the body armor because it's fucking badass what he does. He has somebody build the costume for him because there's a point made in one of the episodes where somebody, I won't tell you who, is like, oh, I thought you long underwear types sew your costumes yourselves, and he goes, I never learned how to sew. He's like, I guess you couldn't. He's like, nope, because he bought the black costume online, like all the padding and stuff that he has on it, and the lead gloves that he wears, and I guess the mask is just a fucking cloth. But he's got these boots and shit. I don't hate the red costume. It's based the point I was trying to make earlier. It's based on the costume from the Trial of the Incredible Hulk movie, where it's all black and there's no eyes on it.
Which, I mean, what would he need those for anyway?
Yeah, no, absolutely, he doesn't need them. But that's also why in both live-action red costumes, he's got the red lenses over the eyes because he doesn't need them. But it's there for aesthetic purpose.
Yeah.
And all the, because the Daredevil comics are very kind of rooted in like Catholicism and the fact that Matt Murdock is kind of a diehard Catholic, but he's really struggling with his faith because of what he does when he puts on the costume. And they handle that so well in the show. It's so good. There's this priest character who's kind of like he goes to you for guidance a lot, and that's not a spoiler because it's in the fucking trailer. They have like a couple really great scenes together that really show like this is why this is good because the dialogue is so well written. All the performances are great. Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson's Fisk is like one of the most interesting supervillain performances I've ever seen. He kind of, and I'm gonna try and say this without spoiling it. He plays him as socially awkward, which I didn't like at first because I was like, this is supposed to be the Kingpin. Why is he socially awkward? But they develop his character to the point where like, oh, this is why, and it became like really interesting. Like he was more interesting because he was socially awkward. So just in the way he talks and everything. So it was really interesting. But you should definitely give it a watch, man. It's really good.
Yeah, it's the very next thing on my to-do list in terms.
Yeah,
in terms of shit on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm hoping there will be some. I'm kind of like, so it's in the same universe as Avengers and everything, and it's weird that it is because it has the same rating as Breaking Bad. It's rated MA. So this fucking blood and people get arms broken and you see the bone and fucking people are saying shit and ass. I don't think anybody drops the F-bomb, but every other fucking curse word's thrown around. So it's kind of weird in that way. But it's weird because the events of Avengers are brought up constantly. In terms of like just, since it takes place in Manhattan, you can't not mention, hey, a couple years ago we kind of got devastated by an alien invasion.
And that was a big deal. Everybody remember that?
Well, it's actually
fucking space whales.
This is the really cool thing, though, dude. It's the fucking the events of Avengers are the thing that starts the Kingpin plot. That's what allows him to become so powerful. And not because he gets like some mystical bullshit from the fucking Chitauri. No, it's just like the event itself gave him an opening in terms of like, oh shit, this city's weak. I can gain some power now in the criminal underworld. And there's another awesome moment where they showed a newspaper article, and the front of the newspaper says Hulk emerges victorious in Harlem battle, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And on the cover is just Hulk punching out the Abomination. It was so awesome. And there was also a mention of Captain America and stuff, and Iron Man and Stark Industries. So, pretty soon though, dude, next season I'm expecting some Spider-Man stuff, because those two are like those two are the Batman and Superman of Marvel and of Marvel. In terms of like putting them together, it's very popular.
Yeah. It was always great when he showed up in the fucking cartoon, fucking Daredevil.
That those episodes were the thing that introduced me to Daredevil. And I was like, that guy's fucking awesome. He needs his own cartoon. And now that I've seen like what Daredevil is, he could never get a children's cartoon.
No.
I guess he could, but it'd be kind of dumb. This show is kind of like a godsend in terms of like it was able to get made because they knew there would be an audience for it.
You should have gave him like an adult cartoon,
like a Black Panther style, like Spawn, like a HBO cartoon.
Yeah.
If anybody was gonna do it, it'd be nice to see Bruce Timm do it.
All fucking grim and shit.
I don't think we need it now because the show is pretty much perfect. So I don't really need anything in terms of a Daredevil cartoon. But it, like 10 years ago would have been awesome. But yeah, you'll like it. It's really good. And when you watch it, we can talk about it some more, and we can do like a episode about it or whatever. But Dylan,
how many fucking episodes?
13.
13. Okay.
They're all like 58 minutes, so they're all really long. They're all like basically like, you know, they're primetime television length.
So it's a fucking movie. Fucking 13 mini Daredevil movie.
Well, no, the whole point is that it's supposed to be kind of, since, you know, it's Netflix made it, they're like, it's designed with binge watching in mind. Mm-hmm. So strangely, it almost feels like a movie arc more than a show arc. And it still works as like a show, but like when you watch it, you're like, this would work as like a 13-hour movie. Like the arc of the whole season feels like the arc of a movie.
Jesus,
that's what it's like. That's what it's like. I watched it almost in that kind of. I watched it in 2 days, so 2 or 3 days, I guess. I watched it. That last episode, though, is so badass. Oh, it's so fucking awesome. Yeah, just the last fight scene, holy shit.
That's the very next thing that I'm planning on watching on Netflix. This is right before it came out, I started watching fucking Legit.
Oh, yeah?
And fucking watched all that. And then after I finished Legit, I was like, you know what, I've never watched all of Louis. So I started doing that.
Those are the two things I need to finish on Netflix that I started a long time ago and never finished, was Louis and Legit.
Dude, I finished season 3 before we got on this call of Louis.
Of Louis? Yeah. There's a lot of Louis.
There's only 4 seasons on Netflix.
Still a lot.
Because the 5th season is fucking on now, I guess.
Yeah, it just started a couple weeks ago. I hope that show never stops. That show is so fucking good.
But so I'm watching.
It is the best. No, it's not the best, but it's one of the best comedies on TV.
So I'm watching fucking season 3 of Louis, and there's this really bizarre episode.
There are some bizarre episodes in season 1.
No, not bizarre from like a story perspective. Bizarre from like watching it now as an audience member. Okay, I'll explain why. So he goes to a funeral for some guy that he used to know, and there are only 2 people at the funeral, and those two people are him and Robin Williams.
Who's the guy who died?
I don't know, some fucking guy. Anyway, some guy that
is Robin Williams playing himself?
Yeah. Some guy who like owned a comedy club or some shit, and they both knew him. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
He dies. They're the only 2 that show up to the funeral because apparently the guy was an asshole.
Makes sense.
Anyway, so then they go to like this strip club that apparently the guy was really fond of, and it's super funny because they're both at the funeral and they don't give a shit about the guy that died. They're just there because they kind of feel obligated, you know. But then they go to this strip club and they tell one of the strippers that the guy has died, and like apparently he was very loved in the strip club because people start like grieving. Like they play this song, I don't know the name of the song, but it's a very stereotypical like somebody's died, let's honor them kind of song.
Right.
If you ever watch the episode, you'll know it when you hear it.
Right. Like Amazing Grace or some shit?
No, nothing spirit, nothing religious. They're in a fucking strip club. But anyway, so they're all crying.
I found strip clubs to be a very religious experience.
So they're all crying over this dead patron that they were all so fond of, and fucking Louis and Robin just sort of slip out the back door. But there's this fucking moment that made me go, oh shit, because they're fucking standing outside the end of the strip club, and Louis and Robin Williams are about to part ways, because them being together only takes up about half of the episodes. You know how sometimes an episode of Louis will actually be like 2 stories?
Yeah, it's kind of like an old cartoon where it's like an episode of SpongeBob where it's 2 episodes in one.
Yeah. So this is the end of that first like sort of vignette. So they come out of the strip club, and before they part ways, Robin Williams looks at Louis and he's like, "Can you do me a favor?" And Louis like, "Yeah, I'll come to yours." And he's like, "Yeah, whichever one of us dies first." And I was like, "Oh well."
Oh boy. They aren't similarly. I think Robin Williams is quite a bit older than Louis, or he was. I'm sorry, he was older.
And I'm like, Louis, did you do it? Did you go? I don't fucking. If I had seen,
I don't know what the circumstances of Robin Williams' funeral were.
If I had seen this,
I'm not surprised we were invited.
If I had seen this show like before the like fucking Robin Williams died, that would have been my first question when he died was, is Louis going to the funeral?
What a great question.
He promised, damn it.
If he didn't go, that's a dick.
So yeah, that was weird because this was the first time post Robin Williams dying that I've seen like a new Robin Williams performance that I haven't seen before.
I almost watched the Crazy Ones on Netflix. That show he did.
Yeah.
That stopped production because he died.
Right. Yeah.
Well, part of the reason why I watched it was because it's him, and guess who plays his fucking daughter?
Fucking his daughter?
Sarah Michelle Gellar, fucking Buffy.
Oh, okay.
I must watch that show now, because that sounds like the greatest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Buffy and Robin Williams just fucking trolling around doing shit.
Yeah. This is like, but yeah, like I said, this is the first like Robin Williams new Robin Williams performance that I've seen since he died. So it was just such a bizarre experience to see him, come on screen, and Louis like, "Hi, I'm Louis," and he's like, "I'm Robin Hood," and it was really weird.
Don't do it, Dylan. Don't do that voice. We had a bad history with that voice.
It was a weird thing. It was really bizarre.
No, I feel that. I totally feel that. That's bizarre.
There are a lot of times why.
That's why I was like kind of nervous about watching the Crazy Ones. Like I would start watching it and I'm just like, oh man, I hope I don't get too into this and it like end on like a cliffhanger and then like cry
that's
myself.
What fucking happens in legit the ending of season 2. It's like it wraps up the shit that was happening in that season, but there's still so much like open shit, and I'm like, no, FX, you bastards.
It's not a very archy show, though. Although it does have I didn't expect it when I started. It has a weird sense of continuity with itself.
Yeah, well, there's
something I didn't expect.
There is a bit more of an arc thing going on in the second season, due to some shit.
Well, the only arc in season 1 is like, we want to keep your brother here because he'll be safer.
Yeah.
So I really like that show. Except for the baseball episode. I hated the baseball episode.
Yeah.
I hated that episode in season 1. So
was that in season 1? I thought that was in 2.
No, that's in season 1.
Did you see the episode where fucking the Jim was volunteering at the guy's fucking like retirement home because he wanted to fuck that chick?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That whole episode, you kind of have to pick a side when you're watching that episode. And I was...
Yeah, because he is totally... That's the thing about Jim Jeffries, is like he knows he's playing like an exaggerated version of himself, which is a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to like... But I had to pick a... Because that whole episode is like him and the fucking guy in the wheelchair, whose name just happens to be Billy. Just fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking like at each other's throats. And you have to kind of pick a side while you're watching it. And when Jim finally like screwed him over in the end, I was like, yeah, fuck you, Billy.
It was like this cathartic release for you, because it's like you could say it, you thought you're talking to me.
I went a little far. I was like, fuck you, Billy, and everyone named Billy. Except Billy DeBose. That guy's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, aside from him. No other major Billies that you know who it's like you respect and is a friend of yours? No, not at all. Not at all, Dylan. Not at all. Not at all.
I don't know.
No, it's fine. I understand. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't know people.
All by myself. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that was something.
Also, that bitch kind of overreacted about the rape joke. I know, rape jokes. But
the rape joke.
you fucking, I think that was in season 1, where he fucking...
I vaguely remember this. What happened again?
This girl offers to give him a ride home from, like, this acting audition.
Mm-hmm.
And she does this really weird thing where, like, she calls her mother before he gets in the car and is like, hey, I'm about to give a stranger a ride home, so if you don't hear from me in, like, 30 minutes, just assume that he's raping me. And call the cops. So fucking, they're riding down the street, and obviously it's an awkward situation because what she just fucking did. So he, trying to make awkward conversation, he wants to fuck her because he wants to fuck everybody. He's like, he fucking says, wow, you just made this rape really awkward. And she fucking flips out and starts like beating him and demands he gets out of the car and then drives away. And then later on, they're both auditioning for this movie role. Later on, they're fucking at the table read, and she's like, I can't do it because this man tried to rape me the other day. And he fucking loses the part, and then he has like this like reputation for the rest of the show as this guy who supposedly raped this chick.
That's amazing. I don't remember this at all. That must have been in season 2 because I don't, or maybe it was the end of season 1. I don't remember this at all.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was a season. That would make sense because that fucking movie that he was supposed to have the part in before the chick cried rape is like a big part of season 2. Like it shows up all over the place.
Oh, okay. The weird thing is watching that show, and you see 2 things. One is you see a lot of his stand-up become fucking shown.
Oh, fucking that airplane one.
The airplane one is like the juiciest one. It's the funniest one.
It's like my favorite fucking bit of his, and it's fucking in live action. I'm like, yeah, do it.
I wish there was some way they could do the dildo story from like one of his early stand-up specials where he tells the story about finding a vibrator in his garage as a kid. I love that fucking story.
That'd be great.
I mean, I don't know if they could though. But and then of course I think his most famous bit is the one about his mother being fat and they used to call her Gunta.
Yeah, they do that in the show.
Up, Gunta, up! Yeah, they do that in the show. They do that twice. One said by him and one said by the kid who he like takes under his wing.
Yeah, that kid fucking steals his joke. And then in season two, his parents actually come to visit.
Oh, Jim Jeffries' parents?
Well, I don't know if they're his actual like real life parents.
No, I'm just asking like in the actual in the canon of the show.
Yeah, a pair of
a
pair of actors playing Jim Jeffries' parents. Yeah.
The story. Did you remember that fucking story he told of his dad? They went to this soccer match in Germany, and they're on this fucking train, and it's like super hot. It's the middle of the summer, and it's like everybody. It's like super crammed in because everybody's crowding in because they're going to the soccer match. And he just says his dad, at the top of his lungs, shouted, this is how they used to transport the Jews! And Jim looked at his dad just like, are you fucking out of your mind?
His dad's awesome in the show, too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he in more than one episode? Because I wish he really a recurring character.
He's in a couple episodes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Like, I need to start watching that show.
He fucking, there's this awkward moment where him and Jim and Steve and Billy and Steve.
I fucking love Steve. Steve is so awesome.
Steve and Billy's dad.
Played by John Hammond, right?
Yeah, you would fucking love episode 4 of season 2, by the way, because they go to a high school reunion and it's Steve gets drunk and it's hilarious. And he finds out that the
Are you saying it's like your life, Bill?
No, it's like he fucking like has a meltdown because his life sucks and he realizes how much it sucks. That kind of shit. He fucking finds.
What does he do for a living again?
He fucking finds out that the first woman he ever had sex with is now a man. Anyway.
Oh. They did that in fucking 2.5 Men also, I remember.
But he was some sort of like an online encyclopedia salesman. Now that job is gone.
Yeah, I don't remember what he does. From when I was watching the show.
At the end of season 2, he fucking goes off to be in the army.
Does he really?
Yeah, there's this whole thing with Afghanistan that you gotta watch the show. Anyway, there's this fucking awkward ass moment where fucking Jim and Steve and Billy and Steve's dad and Jim's dad, like they're gonna go to like a water park, but they're fucked.
Why are they going to a water park? They're all grown ass men.
Because Steve wanted to go to a water park, Bill. And he's like super fucking excited about this water park, like
Dylan, we have to go to a water park when you come up here to New York now and recreate this episode of Legit.
He had, like, the level of excitement about going to this water park that Mexican dude had in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes about giving Koba some liquor.
What an amazing comparison. That's brilliant. Hey, man, give him some. Let's see what happens.
Give him some and see what happens. that sort of just childlike enthusiasm.
Like, just the wonder at the prospects of what could possibly occur when we give this large chimpanzee, who seems to be threatening, some alcohol.
Yeah, that's how fucking excited Steve is about going to this water park.
That's amazing. I love that.
When they're on their way to the water park, and fucking Jim's dad, like, has them pull over at this place, and he goes in, he says he's going to be in there for like 30 minutes, he's going to get a massage, him and the fucking Steve's dad. It's a fucking rub and tug parlor.
Oh, is it really?
And so they all go in and get hand jobs.
Oh my god, that's fucking amazing.
And it's so fucking awkward, because then one of the fucking, Jim gets like this fat, like, ugly one. She starts fucking singing while she's doing it, and then everybody else in there starts singing along.
What is she singing?
I don't remember. And then they wind up taking the horse with them to the water park, so that's fun.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fucking amazing. You remember that episode that's one of my favorites where fucking Jim gets the personal trainer and he turns him into a fucking fat stoner?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fucking brilliant. I always thought that was amazing.
You really need to watch season 2, because some of my favorite episodes wound up being in season 2.
Yeah, I should definitely finish it. It's just that fucking baseball episode was so bad, I was like, I don't want to watch the rest of the series.
Fucking, I think it's episode 9 of season 2. He goes in for, like, an interview with some, like, executive, right? Fucking old-ass, like, what I imagine Carrie Fisher looks like now.
Oh, that's so funny you mentioned that, because guess who I saw on the Star Wars live stream today?
Carrie Fisher.
And if you're meaning like she looks not aged well, boy, are you right.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? This woman looked a bit like Carrie Fisher. It might have been Carrie. I don't know if she would.
It was Carrie Fisher.
I don't know if she would show up in Legit, but I wouldn't be surprised, because
she was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Because this woman reminded me quite a bit of Carrie Fisher. Anyway, so
she was batshit insane.
So he gets this he's having this interview with this woman, and like it's going pretty well. She seems interested, in hiring him for whatever the fuck it was, and then she just fucking like puts her leg up on the desk, right, and she goes, "Okay, now, lick my pussy." And there's like a whole 5-minute conversation of just being like, what?
You gotta find out if that was actually Carrie Fisher, because if so, that's amazing. I want to see this episode now. But yeah, I watched the Star Wars live stream today, which was like it's basically the cast of episode 7 just jerking each other off about how great they are. And then they showed the trailer, and I was like, that makes up for all of it.
Holy shit, it is Carrie Fisher.
Is it really? That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. She made a joke about not wearing the metal bikini in the rest of the series, and I was like, nobody thought that was going to be a thing that you would do. Like, that would happen in episode 7. Did you see the new trailer for episode 7, by the way?
Yes, I did, and now I'm finally can honestly say that I'm excited for the fucking...
Yeah, me too. I didn't like the first teaser. This one was like, that's what I wanted from the first teaser.
I don't know if I would...
fucking Star Wars.
I don't know if I would say that I didn't like the first teaser. It just... I had my reservations,
I told you my problem with it was, like, it looks like a fan film.
I had my own, reservations. I'm talking big... I mean, after what happened in the prequel movies, I think Star Wars fans are entitled to some reservations, Just, big scenic reservations.
People who don't like the new Star Trek movies had the right to be, kind of like, we'll see. Although I would think, like, the people who don't like the new Star Trek movies were like, yes, go make Star Wars! Please, let Star Trek be Star Trek.
So I had my reservations. Big scenic spaces of land full of Native American life. And but now, this trailer finally got me excited for the fucking movie.
Yeah, it was pretty badass. So we can talk about this for a little bit, because why not?
I was like, I don't know how to describe.
It felt more like Star Wars. That was the thing about the first trailer I watched, and I was like, I can see that this is a Star Wars movie, but nothing about the original series is in this except the Millennium Falcon. You don't see any of the original cast. You see one lightsaber, and to be fair, I think you only see one lightsaber in this too, at least like the actual blade. And it's the same lightsaber too.
Yeah, the fucking triple lightsaber.
But you do see Luke and I think Leia's. I think this trailer implies that she becomes a Jedi, since Luke says my sister has the Force too. So I'm assuming that she becomes a Jedi at some point.
Yeah. Well, that was said in the original trilogy. That whole line, "The Force is strong. My family, my father had it. I had it. My sister has it." That's just lifted from one of the old movies.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that there's a shot in this where it looks like Luke is handing a girl a lightsaber, and I'm like, I guess he's giving Leia a lightsaber. So cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. Now, I guess this must definitely mean that the whole Jedis can't fuck thing has been revoked, because I think that the girl we see is supposed to be her and Han's daughter.
I think in the interests of
preventing what happened in the Old Republic from happening again.
Well, not necessarily just that, but in the interest of rebuilding the Jedi Order, I mean, fucking, you're not gonna find a bunch of fucking Padawans out there, you know? You gotta fucking make.
I don't know.
You gotta make the Padawans.
I don't necessarily agree. I think that you have to sell it to them like an actual like a religion nowadays, where it's like, hey, come to our religion. We'll give you some cookies. Which, by the way, I've never seen a Scientologist.
Fucking Luke knocks on somebody's door. They open. What do you want? He's standing there. He's like, "Do you have a minute to talk about the Force?"
You have a minute to talk about the midichlorians? Because that's still fucking canon. Yay.
You have a moment to talk about the virgin birth. You mean Jesus? No, I mean my father.
Anakin Skywalker was a virgin birth?
Yeah. They say in episode 1, Shmi had no mate. He was born of the Force.
Is that fucking true? Oh, so that's why it starts with Anakin, and it's like, oh, his mother didn't have the Force.
Yeah, because fucking, so I think it's Qui-Gon asks, "What about the boy's father?" And she's like, "He has no father." It's like, oh shit, he's Jesus.
Oh, I remember that. You're right. Well, obviously Anakin was he was a fucking metaphor for Jesus. That was the point.
Yeah.
And the whole interesting thing was that he took the other path that Jesus didn't take.
It's funny because they get this fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid and dress him in all khaki. He is the visual opposite of fucking the Antichrist from the Omen movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's not Damon at all.
And they're like, Jesus metaphor, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Obviously, there's that shot at the end of fucking Empire 3. I meant to say Episode 3, where he's kind of in the crucifixion position when he's burning.
That's true. See, Anakin is Jesus if after being hung on the cross, Jesus had become a Roman soldier, and then he had a son who had to redeem him later on.
Well, even to make it even more direct, if Jesus had gone around killing Jews,
Execute Order 666.
Yeah, no, 66. It's not 666.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you're making a joke?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah, this guy.
You're bad.
This fucking
You're bad. You're bad, and you should feel bad. No, that was pretty good, actually.
You wish you thought of it.
Who?
What?
Anyway, I'm confused.
I am. I'm always I've been confused all day. It's all good.
I feel the same way, dude. So let's talk about the trailer, because there's a lot. Almost everything was amazing. So first things first, the first shot, I was like, fuck to the yes. And if you haven't seen the trailer yet, go watch it first, because we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
I don't remember, was the first shot the fucking Vader helmet, or was it the...
No, the first shot was the desert landscape, and you see the crashed Imperial Star Destroyer, and I was like, that is badass. Me and my friends watched the live stream at school today, because that's what we do at film school, is we watch live streams and wait for trailers to come out.
I feel like most of that would have burned up on entry, but whatever.
Who fucking cares? It's bad. Well, maybe. All right. Well, to debate about this, maybe they designed it so it wouldn't do that.
Maybe. But then you would think that the impact, you would think it would be in more pieces, and that there would be like.
Well, but then when we see it it's super far away from the camera, and it's like it's in the ground.
Something that big crashing into a planet. Okay, it should be in more pieces. There should be a crater. The dinosaurs should be extinct. I mean, they are.
No, but I'm just saying, it's so far in the distance, all those things could be there, and point to, I don't care, it's a cool image!
It's a cool fucking image. It's just, and the more I examine it, the more it falls apart.
And then there's the downed X-Fighter, too. which is also cool in the foreground there. And you see the land. I guess it's Luke driving the land speeder, maybe.
Maybe. We see a fucking half-burned Vader helmet with a skull in it.
Yeah, that was badass. I looked at that and I was like, I'm so glad that was in there.
And I was like, take that, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. You fucking burned up a lot. You were burned twice. You think Vader was like fucking thinking, like, I really hope this kid doesn't cremate me because I have a bad history with being burned alive. So I really hope he thinks to like bury. Oh shit!
He fucking writes up a will, do not cremate me, and it blows up on the Death Star. And then, like, what do you want to do with your dad? And Luke's just like, I don't know, cremate him.
I mean, that's what you do.
That's what they did for Qui-Gon. So, and then they're like, well, how do you know that?
Well, I guess, I suppose, if we're going to examine this further, I think you're supposed to dispose of the body of a Jedi in order for them to become a Force Ghost. I think you're supposed to burn it, so that way their spirit can be released, I guess.
That's an interesting theory. I didn't think...
Well, think about this. What happens to Obi-Wan in fucking Episode 4? He doesn't burn alive, but he disappears. Every time we see a character become a Force Ghost, they either disappear or they burn alive. Yeah. So... Qui-Gon.
Fucking Yoda was like, I don't have to die to become a Force Ghost, bitch. I'm just gonna ascend like fucking Jesus. Another Jesus metaphor.
Yeah, what are you talking about? He absolutely dies.
I mean, he can't, but he doesn't like get cut in half or anything. He just sort of fades.
No, I mean he dies he was fucking 1,000 years old. What you want from him? He fucking trains the savior of the fucking Jedi Order, and he's just like, yo, I'd be mad tired, yo. I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and if I just happen to die, so be it. And you're just like, Yoda, fucking pussy. He died fucking laying on a couch.
Here's the thing, man. Fucking Yoda. Yoda's such a fucking G. You didn't.
Listen. I think I wrote on Facebook recently. I would watch an entire universe, a Yoda universe. I would watch.
You don't have to burn Yoda. He just sort of like he was like, yo, I'm gonna go be a Force Ghost now. See ya. And he fucking just faded away.
He's like, peace out, yo.
And we're like, when did you stop?
Yo, Skywalker, my broski, I'm out of here, dog. That's how Yoda talks.
And they're like, Yoda, why aren't you talking backwards anymore? I can only speak in 2 languages. Fucking backwards Yoda talk and Ebonics.
Something just occurred to me. I think people have brought this up before. Let me get your take on this. So, according to Episode 1 of Star Wars, E.T. takes place in the Star Wars universe, right?
Yes. Which tells us that the Star Wars universe takes place in the Andromeda Galaxy because the poster for E.T. back in the day said that he comes from a place, I forget the exact number of light years away, which just happens to be the distance from our...
20 million miles from... No, that's way too short of a distance.
That is far too short of a distance. Miles don't even... Anyway, whatever that number was in the fucking poster, like how many light years he comes from, just happens to be the distance between us and the Andromeda Galaxy.
Right.
So that's right. Your galaxy far, far away. Not as far as I had thought, but...
I mean, listen, how far have we ventured outside of the fucking Milky Way? Not that far, right? I mean, we know there are other galaxies out there, but how much do we know about them?
They're fucking big.
It's very true.
Some of them have black holes, and they will be sending apes to take over our planet.
And also, space Godzillas will be formed.
Indeed.
So let me get your take on this. So we know that there's a prevailing sense that E.T. takes place in the Star Wars universe. Fine. Okay, so here's the weird thing about that. There is a moment in E.T. where he passes somebody wearing a Yoda costume, and he points at it and goes, oh, and, you always think, like, oh, he's scared. But then Steven Spielberg was like, no, he's not scared. He recognizes him. Because he would see Yoda in real life because...
Your question is...
He knows Yoda's species.
Your question is, why are people on Earth in the E.T. movie aware of Star Wars?
Yeah, how is Star Wars a fictional property if Yoda is a real thing, and if it takes place in the Star Wars universe? What the fuck?
I don't know. How is there a guy on Earth who looks just like Han Solo but is an archaeologist fighting Nazis? There are a lot of...
Yeah, but he looks so different, Indiana Jones. That's fine. Why does Captain America look like the Human Torch? I don't know. But I know they're not the same universe. I was just using that to make a point. It doesn't matter. So here's my point with all this. This can only mean one thing, and this is the only possible way I can excuse it. It must mean that Yoda's kind have crash landed on Earth. Somebody drew a picture of it, and now there's a costume of it.
That would be fine. That would make sense. I'd be down for that.
Because the only other option is Star Wars is a thing in that movie, and then the whole fan theory falls apart, and that scene falls apart because E.T.'s like, oh, I know him. It's like, you can't possibly. He's a fictional character.
Hey, I remember that guy. I served on the fucking Coruscant Senate. And fucking, because E.T. must be a senator now, right? I mean, come on. That's too good.
Well, I mean, E.T.'s a baby. He's a kid, so he wouldn't be a senator because he's a fucking child.
Is he supposed to be a child? I haven't watched that fucking movie in years.
Yeah, he's a young member of his species.
Oh, okay.
It's a good fucking movie.
It's like a fucking...
It's not Spielberg's finest, but having just rewatched Close Encounters, I actually like E.T. a little bit more than Close Encounters.
Charlatan. No, it's...
I know. I wish I didn't because Close Encounters is objectively the better movie, but I watched it and I was like, it's just not as entertaining. And I was talking to somebody recently who gave me the same reaction you just did when I told them, is anybody else bothered by the fact that Close Encounters doesn't have a fucking plot?
And then they were like, charlatan!
Yeah, that's what they're like, oh, and I'm like, it bothered me. I was like, this movie doesn't have a fucking plot.
I pointed at you and made that fucking noise from the Body Snatchers remake.
I can't do that noise.
That's why I didn't even try.
I did a Geeky Gentleman mini recently with Ian about Zorro, which was an awesome video that you should watch. It's on his channel. And in it we talked about how in The Mask of Zorro they used like this weird jaguar roar in the opening credits when Zorro cuts the Z in the screen. And
okay, I know you're talking about a jaguar, like the animal, but I pictured like the sound that Jet Jaguar makes for a second.
Oh no, that would be so much better if Zorro was like, I'm a big fan of Jet Jaguar.
But you're talking about that wow noise that like jaguars make.
Yeah. Ow! Yeah, and I did it on that podcast, and I was just like, I wish I didn't, because it was so bad. Because we did that early in the morning for me, meaning like 1:30.
It's a weird noise to make. You got to do like kind of a Donald Duck thing. Anyway.
Yeah, it's weird. But did you? Let me ask you, because Ian thought it was crazy. Do you remember in the '90s where like whenever there was an explosion, like they would use that sound in the explosion sound effect, like that jaguar hiss?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and I was always like, why? Like, what is that? What purpose does that serve?
It was a proud '90s tradition, right up there with the Wilhelm scream.
Even the Wilhelm scream makes sense. It's a dude screaming. Like, it's fucking. Why is there a jaguar hissing an explosion?
I don't know.
Why, Dylan? Why?
I don't know, Bill. What you should do now is just put a jaguar hiss explosion in every movie you ever make.
I'm writing a script right now. I have to put the jaguar explosion in there, even though there's no explosions in the script so far.
You fucking write it that way into the script. A jaguar explosion takes place.
and all my friends are like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And I'm just like, a jaguar isn't gonna explode. It's gonna be an explosion that sounds like a jaguar.
You don't even have the rest of the sounds. It's just an explosion that sounds like wow.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't even have the explosion sound. It's yeah, word. The only thing I can possibly fathom as to why they would put that in The Mask of Zorro is that I think Jaguar still lived in North America at the time when Zorro was a thing.
So one just happened to be around when that thing exploded, and it got.
I guess that's the explanation.
And it got freaked.
Is that right? Didn't Jaguar still live in America at that time?
I don't know, man. I don't know the history of the Jaguar.
Was that Jaguars or Panthers? There was some big cat that now doesn't live in America anymore because we drove it to extinction. So the Jaguars or I think it was Jaguars. I think Jaguars and Panthers are the same thing, aren't they? Just different colors?
I'm not sure.
I'm almost positive that Jaguars and Panthers are the same.
Because I'm pretty sure Panthers live in India because they raised Mowgli.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I think Jaguars and Panthers are the same thing. They're just different, just geography. Jaguar.
Like the difference between a monsoon and a hurricane.
I guess. I spelled Jaguar wrong.
And then they have the fucking Jaguars that look kind of like cheetahs, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Not the fucking car, you idiots! I want the fucking cat.
So I typed in Jaguars versus Panthers, hoping to get like a list of differences. It said apparently there's like an NFL game, and I'm like, oh, okay.
They are the same thing, I think. Yeah, they're the same thing. They're part of the same family as Panthers.
Well, yeah, they're all part of the same fucking big cat family.
No, but the name of their species is Panthera onca.
Onga.
And yeah, they were wiped out of the U.S. in the early 20th century. They're pretty cute. I would buy one. I'd have a pet jaguar. I don't know if my cats would approve, though. They're probably like, yo, are you out of your mind? Do you see how big this fucking cat is? And I've seen fucking My Deadly Obsession. I know that this shit goes bad. You ever seen that show? The show about, I think it's called My Deadly Obsession, where animals, like, people have weird exotic animals and they end up fucking dying because of it.
Apparently there is a bit of a size difference.
Yeah, but if you look at them in the face, they're almost identical except for the color. But yeah. So back to the fucking Star Wars trailer, because we didn't even get to the best part of it. So
And then a jaguar popped out.
a jaguar showed up out of nowhere. It was really weird. I didn't expect the X-Wings to be piloted by jaguars. That was really weird. It was bold, but strange. Nice job, JJ.
And they got into a dogfight with helicopters being flown by velociraptors. It
was badass, I gotta say.
It didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I don't even care.
I didn't care at the point. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Okay. So then what happens, I think, is you got Luke narrating, the Force is strong in my family. There's that badass shot where he's burning something, and he puts his metal hand on R2-D2. Now, that made me question, like, didn't Luke have, like, a fake hand? It wasn't, like, metal?
Yeah, because the hand that they gave him was, like, the fucking... It reminds me of that fucking scene from the first Terminator, where he's like pulling the fucking things in his arm and making the fingers twitch. That was kind of what it was like.
Yeah, it wasn't a metal hand like Anakin had. It was just a hand with like some circuits in it.
Unless, of course, they changed that in one of the fucking special super duper editions. Fucking.
Oh, that's possible. Like, I mean, the reason they did it in the original was like, oh, good, we don't have to show fucking a metal hand now. Oh!
Changed his hand to metal and fucking replaced all the lightsabers with walkie-talkies. I don't know. Like.
There was a cut scene in Return of the Jedi, I don't know if they shot it, where the hand was supposed to come off and grab Luke's lightsaber. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like over time he realized that it broke or something and he needed a new one and he just got a metal one because it was cheaper or some shit, who knows. I don't know. But it made me raise my eyebrow. But I'm just excited to see actual Jedi Luke Skywalker.
How do you like these new Stormtrooper designs?
They're different, but I think they look sleeker, and I think that makes sense given how far this is supposed to be in the timeline, 35 years.
Yeah.
They look sleeker to me.
I think it's now pretty safe to assume that the Black Stormtrooper is a feature character.
He's pretty... Well, at the live stream that we watched, he was interviewed as one of the main cast members. So
okay, so
here's my assumptions. He's either working for the Republic and he's a spy, or he's a stormtrooper who reforms. And I'm assuming the latter just based on the trailer. Obviously, I have no evidence to support that, but it looks like he's turned from the dark side to the light side, and maybe becomes a Jedi. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe.
It was just weird. It was interesting to see, like, all this classic Star Wars iconography, but in a modern movie.
What I'm excited for about this is it's going to be, for me, the first time that I'm going to be in a theater feeling like I'm watching Star Wars in a theater, because I saw the prequels in theaters.
Yeah, they didn't feel like Star Wars.
But, well, with the exception of... I still like 3, but...
I like 3 a lot. I was having a conversation with a couple people that I was like, I like 3.
3 is defend 3. I like 3 a lot.
I like 3. Are you agreeing that it's too long? I think it's way too long.
There's a lot of shit in 3 that I don't like. I'm not going to say.
That whole the second General Grievous fight, cut that shit down.
General Grievous...
It is way too long.
General Grievous really doesn't even have to exist in this movie, if we're going to be honest. He's just... Yeah. His main purpose in the plot is
goddamn doesn't he look cool.
Obi-Wan needs something to fight when he's on Utapau, because this war can't just be a war. No, we gotta... Okay.
You know what I always found kind of stupid about that whole fucking sequence when he's on that planet was too?
The fucking lizard shit.
Yeah, the lizard thing was fucking stupid, and here's why. So there's this, I don't know, this shot always made me laugh when I was a kid. Was this shot where fucking, when they say execute Order 66, he goes to Commander Cody and is like, Commander Cody, there's still a battle to win here. and he like fucking whips the lizard to like ride off, and he throws the lightsaber in the air like, woo, we're going to battle, and then he gets blasted down, and the lizard is just like, what the fuck, man? And it's just like the look on his face is just like this like so disappointment, like, oh, I was looking really awesome there, and somebody took me out.
General Grievous is such a major disappointment because he was so fucking cool in the Genndy Tartakovsky cartoon. He was like the most badass thing ever, and then he's in the movie.
He was cool in the Clone Wars too.
And then he's in the movie, and he's got bronchitis and fucking.
He's got bronchitis in the Clone Wars too.
Yeah, that's because they fucking based it off in the fucking Clone Wars cartoon that Genndy Tartakovsky made. You know, the good one.
Because everything he does is fucking perfect.
The good one, fucking. And he doesn't have. They actually show you how he gets the bronchitis.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, because when he first shows up in that show, he talks with a normal voice, and then during the attack on Coruscant, when they're actually kidnapping the Chancellor, Mace Windu does like a force choke thing and like crushes part of his like chest thing.
That's awesome.
And then he starts coughing, and so that's why he's got the bronchitis.
I kind of wish General Grievous would have been the one to kill Mace Windu.
That would have been cool.
I don't know why.
You don't.
His death is really important and it's dramatic, but I was also just like, now knowing that, it would have been way. I don't know why. I always felt like wouldn't it have been cooler if like Mace Windu would have been like one of the first ones to go down.
If General Grievous had just been a character in that Genndy Tartakovsky cartoon and like died during that attack on Coruscant and wasn't in the movie at all, I wouldn't mind. Because he's
the whole problem is he was designed to be he was designed like, wouldn't it be really fucking cool if we had a droid who knew how to fight like a Jedi and had like 4 lightsabers?
But he's not like he's not really a droid either. He's like
he's like an android kind of, right?
He's the RoboCop of droids basically. He's a little burned alien head inside of a droid body.
He's like Darth Vader times like 1,000,000.
Yeah, he's like the extreme. It's like, and then you see how advanced his like droid body is, and I'm like, Darth Vader, they could have hooked you up with something better. Shit.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of stuck by that point. They're like, we could could probably refine Darth Vader's costume, but we're kind of bound by the prequels now. That's the thing about Star Wars, the prequels. Like, the prequels look more high-tech to me than the fucking original series.
And the original series is supposed to be so fucking, like... Because you look at those original Clone Trooper outfits when they're, like, on Geonosis, and, like, it's...
Holy shit, they're like, super, like, intricate, and they've got colors on them.
They're, like, super sleek, and they got the fin, and they got the fucking, like, ARC troopers. And then in the next movie...
And the guns are enormous.
The next movie, you got those red ones with the fucking, like, Gatling guns and shit, like...
And the fucking commandos. Yeah.
And then you go into the future.
And they're just fucking white fucking guys wearing plastic.
And then you go into the distant future of 1977, and... Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the whole... 78. Wait, no, you're right, 77.
No, the first movie came out in 77.
You're right. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Dylan. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. So there's kind of an in-universe explanation of the Empire took over, and kind of like some empires, the rest of the universe was deprived of technology and kind of went to shit.
But shouldn't the Empire still look high-tech?
That's the thing. It doesn't. The whole problem is, like, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, when they cut to the Imperial Star Destroyer, or whatever they're on, I forget, and you see Darth Vader, and you see Darth Vader standing next to Darth Sidious, and I'm just like, why does everything look so low-tech all of a sudden? This actually looks like fucking Star Wars now.
And now we're going to have Episode 7, right? And you know it's going to be like a weird middle ground, right? Like on.
I mean, the trailer shows that weird middle ground. It looks high-tech and low-tech all at the same time, and I like it.
On the one hand, they're going to want to make it look like the original, but on the other hand, it's going to look like it was made today, because it fucking was, you know?
And J.J. Abrams said he really struggled with that to make it not look like that. He wanted to make it look like to be fair, so consider
in
this.
The aesthetic department, he's got a little bit of a tougher job than he did with Star Trek, because with Star Trek, it was a reboot, you know, you retain the classic look, you make it a little sleeker.
I mean, it's debatable how well he did that, but he did. Well, listen, you can crap on those Star Trek movies all you want. He at least retained a lot. Like, the shuttles look pretty much like they did in the original.
It's high tech and it's modern in its look, but it's still got a bit of that retro vibe. Okay.
Yeah, the Star Trek uniforms are pretty much right out of the original series. Like, they kind of look like really cheap, and I like that. They're all wearing those weird biker boots and the slacks and the fucking collared shirts.
Yeah, he blends the retro in with the new, and that wasn't even out of necessity because again, it's a fucking reboot. He could have them like fucking in fucking like red and yellow armor if he fucking wanted to. I mean, shit, but.
I mean, the fucking original series is like, let's put Kirk in a fucking, like, legit Admiral's uniform now because we have the budget to.
Yeah, yeah.
They stopped wearing the classic uniforms after. They didn't even wear. I was actually watching the motion.
Not fucking. There are these shitty-ass dress uniforms in the original series that they wear sometimes for, like, court martials and shit, and oh my god, do those things look god-awful.
Yeah. Well, I was watching the motion. I've never seen the motion picture before. In full, and I was watching it today, and I was like, God, this is why I never watched it, because it's boring as sin.
It's trying to be...
God, that movie is so fucking boring.
The problem with that movie...
Oh.
The problem with the movie is it's trying a little too hard to be like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, like, the characters get so lost in the shuffle. Like, I like the Star Trek characters, and I'm watching it like, nobody is getting any time to, like, breathe in this. Everybody is just like buried underneath the aesthetic, and nobody has the time to really come out and be their characters. Bones tries so hard, but he just can't do it because he's buried under, like, we're trying to make a modern epic here, and we can't have it look like we don't have time for character development. Fuck that shit. But there are worse things in the motion picture. I was laughing out loud at how fucking Nobody was exaggerating that fucking beauty shot of the Enterprise at the beginning. Oh. It is as long as everybody makes fun of it to be. It's like, 7 or 8 minutes? It's crazy.
A lot of the shots in the movie go on a little bit longer than they need to, and that's really my only huge problem with it, because I don't hate the movie. I
just find it boring as sin.
But fucking some of these, like, you know the shot of fucking, or the scene where Spock is on the jetpack.
I didn't finish the movie. I only got halfway through.
Oh, okay. Well, later on in the movie, he's on this fucking jetpack out in space, right? And he's just, I don't know. It's just him getting from point A to point B, but it takes a lot longer than it really needs to, realistically. And I'm like, Robert.
I mean, that's what I felt with the shuttle bay and fucking in the beginning. I was like, did it really take this long to navigate around the Enterprise? Did you have to circle around it?
And I'm like, Robert Wise, listen, I love you. You directed The Day the Earth Stood Still, but come on, man.
He did?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
That's badass.
Then he goes on later on in his career to make fucking The Sound of Music. Go figure that one out.
All right, I'll go do the math.
Actually, you know what? I think The Sound of Music might have been before Star Trek The Motion. When was Star Trek The Motion Picture?
1970-something, but Sound of Music was the 60s.
Yeah, okay, so he made Sound of Music and then goes back to sci-fi. He also made West Side Story. The guy is a very... eclectic career.
Yeah, I knew his name. I was thinking, like, he directed some fucking musical. The one I knew him from was West Side Story.
Yeah. He has a very eclectic career, you know. Day the Earth Stood Still in Star Trek and fucking musicals. Yeah.
Do you like musicals?
And tons of other shit that I'm sure he probably did that I've just never heard of. Because he was in the business for a long time.
But do you like musicals?
Do I like musicals?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the genre on the whole. There are exceptions.
Me neither.
There are exceptions, I guess. Like, there are some that I see sometimes that I'm like, I don't mind this. You know what I mean?
I really like when they do a musical type thing in a show that isn't usually like that. So, for instance, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there is a musical episode.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome. There's a demon that makes everybody sing and dance, and he does it to kill them.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome. It's great.
A lot of cartoons do that sometimes. I don't know if you remember this. There's an episode of Billy and Mandy where, like, this meteorite crashes, and it's, like, alive, and it, like, eats people's brains. And the entire thing is, like, a musical number. It's really fucking cool, actually. You know.
They also did it in, they don't do it per se, but there's a hallucination in House where they do a musical number, and it's badass.
They did that in an episode of fucking Scrubs. There was this episode of Scrubs.
Yeah, they did. I remember that.
There was this episode of Scrubs where this woman had some kind of an injury or some shit. She was dying or something, and like
or something.
And she imagined that everyone was fucking singing.
Yeah, I remember that. They Watch Mojo put that on one of their top 10 lists.
There was a banned episode of the Powerpuff Girls that was musical.
Why was it banned? Because they were like, dicks and pussy!
I don't remember why it was banned, you know? It was weird. It was a weird situation. I don't know why they banned it. I feel like I might have seen it before it was banned, because it features like this little magical gnome character, and I've seen pictures of him, and I'm like, he looks familiar. I feel like maybe I saw this back in the day before some parent like got a stick up their ass and banned it for some stupid reason.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where they have that scene where he's like, where he's holding 2 bars of soap, and he looks at Gary and goes, "Don't drop the soap," and he winks at him. And it's like, holy shit! Jesus Christ, SpongeBob!
I know SpongeBob is secretly gay, and I know that.
Oh yeah, of course everybody in that show is either asexual or gay.
Yeah, well, you know, I heard a rumor once. I don't know if this is true. I didn't do SpongeBob research, okay, but
Aren't sponges fucking asexual anyway? They reproduce asexually.
I don't know sponges. Anyway.
But his parents aren't. He's got 2 parents, so obviously not in that universe.
Anyway, I heard a rumor once, and this might be true, it might not. Like I said, I haven't done any SpongeBob research. I really couldn't give a shit. But I heard...
I'll ask my brother. He's a fucking expert.
I heard once that it was like originally intended by the creator to be like a show for adults.
Yeah, it was, because it's based on a comic strip that's for adults that he did in his college newspaper.
And all the gay shit was going to be very overt.
Yeah. I didn't know that, but I knew it was supposed to be for adults.
I mean, listen, people. SpongeBob and Patrick are butt buddies. That's all there is to it.
I mean, there's an episode where like they fucking get married, isn't it? Where they fucking have this clam. You remember this?
I don't remember this.
There's an episode with a clam, they like raise it, and SpongeBob plays the housewife and Patrick plays the father, and they're like married and shit, and it's fucking hilarious because Patrick like goes to work every day and SpongeBob stays at home, and fucking we find out he just goes back to his other house and fucking watches TV all day, and his briefcase is filled with donuts, and I'm like, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's me. But back to Star Wars. So we haven't gotten to the money shot yet because none of these are the money shot. The money shot is Harrison Ford.
Fucking Harrison Ford comes up on screen. He's like, "Get off my Falcon." No, he said,
He says the most badass line in the entire trailer, not because the line is badass, but because of how awesome it is to hear Harrison Ford deliver a line with some life in his voice.
Yeah.
He sounded happy.
Yeah,
he sounded like lively, and I was like, that's Indiana Jones, man.
I was wondering.
That's Han Solo.
I was wondering if you noticed that. Like he wasn't so incoherent.
He wasn't like.
I mean,
He was like, we're home, Chewie, we're home. And I was like, that's fucking Han Solo.
We've made a career on this show in SOS of the fucking old man Harrison Ford voice because he's fucking been getting fucking senile.
Which we stole from Babylon, but fair enough.
He's been getting fucking senile for a while. Fucking Harrison Ford.
Chewie, get off my starship.
Mutt, we gotta find the kingdom of the crystal dildo. Something.
Yeah, because that's what that movie was called.
It's magnetic.
Yeah, that movie's not magnetic. In terms of its charm.
Oh, Jesus.
So you two dig up dinosaurs?
What?
I always do that first. I always do the laugh first, and then I always end it by going, so you two dig up dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah, that fucking line. Oh, God. Oh, that's like almost like, that's like a month and a half away, that movie.
Jurassic World?
Yeah, I don't know.
Today I watched a clip from the movie, which I was kind of avoiding. I'm like, I want to be surprised when I go into that movie because
yeah,
I have really mixed feelings about the newest trailer. So I don't know. I want to love that movie so badly, but
I did the same fucking thing. I did the same fucking thing for Godzilla 2014. I was like, I'm not gonna watch too much shit, and then I'm like, oh, there's movie clips.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to watch it. And then I watched it, and it's nothing. It's like a minute and 20 seconds long. There's no dinosaurs in it. It's just it's fucking Owen, who's Chris Pratt's character, and Bryce Dallas Howard's character, fucking talking. And all right, listen.
Fucking, at least it wasn't that fucking cunty mother from the beginning of the fucking trailer.
Yeah, the one who's like, go off and get eaten by dinosaurs, kids, because that's not in poor taste.
Remember, if anything tries to fucking eat you, run. Wink.
Like, don't these people know, like, what happened on Isla Nublar, like, 20 years ago, and also in San Diego? Like, this isn't a secret. People know what happened in Jurassic Park.
I'm sure people know, but it doesn't matter because this new company, has bought it and they've fixed it up and they're saying, hey, it's totes safe now. And people are like, okay, because people are stupid, Bill. You know, people still go to Disney World. It doesn't matter how many people get decapitated in Space Mountain.
Yeah, the more I'm almost done with the first Jurassic Park book, and again, the more it goes on, the more I'm like, damn, this park's a bad idea. It's just such a bad idea. Because the thing they really, I think I mentioned this on last week's episode, but the thing they really emphasize in the book is, like, there is nothing we have to tranquilize a dinosaur.
Yeah,
there is nothing we have
because we don't know how their biology works.
To control yeah, and the whole point of the book is, like, with the T-Rex is you can't control a predator like this. It's so enormous. It's so beyond any animal that's currently living on Earth that to try and put it in a zoo setting is fucking retarded.
That's why when you when you write a story or make a movie or anything like that involving humans interacting with dinosaurs, what you normally have to do, and you know the Jurassic Park movie kind of does this, and fucking King Kong did this, you have to make the assumption that the dinosaurs like operate the way that animals operate today, just in a different form. But the book does not make that assumption at all. The book very clearly deviates from that storytelling perspective. I mean, they should certainly take their liberties. We have no evidence to support the idea that compies are poisonous or fucking.
Well, the whole thing is like all the dinosaur saliva is poisonous, pretty much. It's all got bacteria and shit in it. Like the raptors have that, the T-Rex has that. Oh no, does the T-Rex have it? Because no, Malcolm doesn't fucking die of poisoning. I don't know. I will.
Yeah, well, the thing about the compies is there's some sort of a like enzyme in their blood, they explain, or in their saliva, where after they bite the people, like it basically puts them to sleep, and then the compies eat them.
Oh, so that's the whole thing with the babies in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what. If you go back and read the part at the beginning where they're examining the compy and shit, there's a part where somebody is fucking like examining the saliva, and they mention that they discovered like this big ass like protein that they are not familiar with. That's the idea. It basically puts the victim to sleep, and then the compies eat them. That's how fucking Hammond goes at the end.
Right. So here's the thing I've noticed, almost done with the first book. Like a lot of the Lost World is from the movie is taken from the first book in terms of the individual scenes.
Yeah, because
all the stuff with the compies. The scene where the T-Rex chases chases everybody through the waterfall. That's in the book.
Which I mean, almost as if the differences between the book and the movie weren't crazy enough as it was, and like didn't make reading the book a strange enough experience for me the first time. Fucking the compies. This dinosaur from the movies that I always sort of write off.
Yeah, it's like they're not fucking threatening. In the book, they're fucking terrifying.
They're a big fucking deal, is the thing.
Yeah,
they're a big fucking deal in the book, and in the movies, it's like, oh, okay, they kill a couple people, whatever,
I mean, no, they kill one person in the movie because the girl at the beginning doesn't die. She's just disfigured.
Yeah. Didn't they kill somebody else? I thought they killed more than one person. Did they kill anybody? Did they kill anybody in 3? Were they in 3?
No, they're barely. They only have a cameo in 3.
Yeah, that's right.
So they kill
that guy.
Dieter. They kill Dieter. I think is his name, Diedrich or whatever.
The one who wanders away from the rest of them to take a piss.
Right. Hey, Carter! Like, tell more than one person where you're going, asshole. What are you, stupid or something?
Especially the guy who's fucking not paying attention, has loud-ass earphones in his ears.
You know what's really sad?
I know in my personal life, I wear headphones when I don't want people to talk to me.
Yeah. No, absolutely, but it's like, tell more than one person, hey, I'm going off into the woods where there are dinosaurs everywhere. We're being stalked by T-Rexes. I'm going to take a shit. Tell one person I'm going.
Like, hey, asshole, you're on the, like, deadliest island in the world, except maybe Cuba, and you need to tell somebody where the fuck you're going.
We're in the most dangerous place in the world, and we're not even being paid.
Yeah. Fucking alert some people when you.
Yeah, tell some people you're going to take a dump, because Jesus Christ.
When you go places, I mean, are there worse islands? I don't fucking know, man. It's
so sad, Dylan. I can recite all 3 movies from heart, line by line. I realized it because earlier I was fucking talking to Adam and I was like reciting line by line, like Jurassic Park, and he's looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No."
I'm like, fucking, I can write all kinds of numbers on this check out.
Check, Dr. Grant. What's it gonna take? And then there's that song playing, ba-da-da-da-da, and then the Jurassic Park theme starts playing.
I eternally have the fucking music from the scene where Dennis Nedry meets with fucking Dotson, like, engraved. That music is, like, engraved into my brain, and I just, like...
Yeah, me too.
If I ever go to Mexico, it better be fucking playing.
Having been right on the border, I have to say, it absolutely is.
I'm gonna fucking bring that fucking music with me.
Andres and I went into an IHOP and
I'm gonna walk around with a fucking boombox.
Andres and I went to IHOP the day we went to LA, and we went in and they were fucking playing music like that on the radio.
Which I don't know why I would go to Mexico. I don't have any reason to go to Mexico. I enjoy having clean drinking water. I mean...
Yeah, you want to... Well, if you go to California now, they don't have much of it left.
What, clean drinking water?
Well, no, they're having a serious drought over there. Like, it's a serious problem. Like, they might be out of water in a year.
Oh, well, they're next to the ocean.
Yeah, and guess what, Dylan? You can't fucking drink that.
You gotta filter it first, but you can convert for... I forget what the process is called, but there's a process out there.
Yeah, but you have any idea how much money that's going to cost them? Fucking Arnold bankrupted their country. I mean, their fucking state, not their country. They don't have a country. They have a state.
Thank you for electing me, California. I would like to promise you more explosions, more wildfires, more earthquakes. We will make this the #1 action state.
We are going, in order to stop immigration, we're going to build a wall. So, anyway.
Mr. Schwarzenegger, tear down that wall.
Yeah, I saw the wall in person. It's not very impressive. It's basically a white fence.
I think you want to stop immigration, get a better wall. You know, fucking look at China, man. Look at that wall.
Look at China. Look how... No, the Chinese were like, yeah, it didn't work out so well for us either. We got invaded several times.
We'll build it higher than that. I mean, fucking, we have new technology. Fucking shit. Just because we haven't caught up with however the fuck the Egyptians did the pyramids don't mean we can't build a good fucking wall. You know what I'm saying?
You know how much money it's going to cost, though? It's like, it's sort of all comes... Like, we can do it, but it's like... Your scientists are so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
But wouldn't it be cheaper in the long run than constantly having to hunt down people and deporting them?
Yes, I don't know. It depends on how much effort immigration is putting in to hunting people down. They usually don't do that. They're usually just like they wait for the fucking illegal immigrants to fuck up.
I want to see the one immigration agent who's like super into his job. He fucking like finds out there's an illegal immigrant in his area and he's like, I have a particular set of skills. I will find you and I will kill you. Wait, what? I mean, I will deport you.
Which is pretty much murder because anybody who isn't in the United States doesn't really exist.
It's like, show me your green card. The guy has to be played by Liam Neeson, by the way. It's just like, show me your...
Because Liam Neeson is definitely an immigration agent.
He's just like, show me your green card.
Even though he himself is an immigrant.
And they're like, okay? And he's like, green card. Okay? Tarjeta Verde.
Dylan, there's something in Jurassic Park I never noticed until I watched it recently. So, you know when Dodgson gets out of the fucking cab?
Yeah.
There's this fucking amazing thing I never noticed.
You mean, do I remember when we had Dotson there? Yeah, I remember.
Dotson! We got Dotson here! So, he gets out of the cab, he starts walking towards the fucking restaurant, and if you keep your eyes on the cabbie, you notice that Dotson leaves his door open, and the fucking cabbie gives him the fucking arms up that means fuck you. Because he left his door open. And he has to close it. And he gives him this look of like, oh, fuck you, man.
Did he even pay the guy?
I don't know. But he's fucking pissed.
Fucking leaves, doesn't pay the fucking cabbie. Cabbie doesn't do anything. Why? Because it's Dotson.
Hey, Dotson! You shouldn't use my name. Dotson! We got Dotson here! See, nobody cares.
I'm like, no, shut up, Wayne Knight. I care.
I care about Dotson.
I like Dotson.
Dotson's alright. So Dylan, just to wrap up on whatever the fuck we've been talking about.
Did we ever talk about Star Wars?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Movies are cool.
Movies.
Oh no, I brought up the Jurassic World clip that I watched.
That's the conclusion. Movies are cool.
I like movies. Movies are alright.
Fucking title.
I don't watch movies.
Demons from Outer Space, episode 60. Movies are cool.
Movies are cool.
Probably not.
This on the special 60th episode of the Demons from Outer Space. Bill and Dylan concur that movies are in fact cool.
Oh shit, it's our 60th episode, man.
I know it is. We've been doing this for fucking 60 weeks. How sad do you feel?
120 weeks, motherfucker, because we do it every other week. No, we don't. We do it every week. Shit. 60.
That was amazing. You corrected me like so indignantly, and then I'm like, no, we don't. We do it every week.
Fuck.
I know of all the things I've been wrong about, this is not one of them.
No, but, are we gonna hit 100 before the end of the year?
Yeah. No, we're not. Wait, are we? Maybe. We're just barely.
Shit.
And if it's not by that much in terms of right before the 2-year anniversary. Wait a minute, hang on.
How many?
50. Yeah, I mean, so I think what we'll do, just because it would be stupid to celebrate the 100th episode and then celebrate the 2-year anniversary.
Is the 100th episode gonna come before the 2-year anniversary?
Barely. Like, it's gonna be in the same month. If my calculations are correct, if we keep doing the show on time.
We just fucking do what we have planned for the 2-year. It's fucking.
Yeah, exactly. We just do it as one video.
When we hit 100 episodes.
Not like wait to like put it off, but just like we'll only celebrate the 2-year and kind of like, oh, we've done it for this many episodes. So awesome.
And on the 100th, we can mention it once, be like, hey, this is our 100th episode, bitches. Yeah.
And then we'll go on rambling about shit that nobody cares about.
We have no cake.
I ate cake today.
We're just devolving into like two like homeless people that like.
Because we don't have cake?
No, because we just like ramble.
That's what we've always done. Listen to the first episode. We're just rambling about bullshit. We're still rambling about bullshit. People are listening though, so it's their fucking problem.
You know how you're walking down the street and you see the fucking hobo pushing the shopping cart and they're just like talking to themselves. Somehow that's
Mama says that a boy doesn't need to wreck himself.
Sometimes I feel like that's a. Sometimes I feel like that is this show.
Well, especially when we forget what we were talking about. I feel like a homeless person who's like lost his way.
I feel like a homeless Wilford Brimley. I'm like,
Wilford Brimley already homeless?
Is he? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But in my fantasies, Wilford Brimley is homeless.
What the fucked up fantasy you have? Why do you wish homelessness upon Wilford Brimley, the man who has brought so much joy into our lives?
Not because I wish he was homeless and then I could like fight for him to. No, hang on. I wish he was homeless. Let me fucking speak. I wish he was homeless so that way I could wish him a home, like that he could get a home.
You want something?
I want Wilford Brimley to struggle for his life.
You want a 1 in a million chance thing happening of your wish coming true and him becoming homeless, so that we can then bet on the odds of it happening again, give him another home.
Yes, that's what I want, Dylan. Is that so wrong?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. No, so hang on, to wrap up on what we were talking about, the Jurassic World clip I watched.
That's the second most fucked up thing you've ever said, Bill.
The second? What's the first?
There's grass on the field, play ball.
I didn't come up with that. I stole that from somewhere, but that's a saying I've heard.
It's actually a pretty common expression that I don't.
It is. It's pretty.
That
common.
I don't fully disagree with.
I gotta say, I wasn't serious. It's not a philosophy I believe in.
There are conflicting viewpoints here. Let's just.
There's a debate, I think, in terms of whether or not grass on the field means we should play ball.
I mean, how tall is the grass? Is my question.
That doesn't mean shit. Some people have long unkempt grass, and some people have fucking asphalt. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then you got to worry about like. Because it depends.
Sometimes people have crab grass. It's fucking.
And you also got to think about the fact that some people put a little bit more emphasis on lawn care than others.
I don't mow my lawn every week like most people do.
I mean,
once a year I mow my lawn.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so hang on before we devolve any more and talk about genital hair. So,
is that what we're talking about here? I thought we were talking
I'm looking for lawn care.
I thought we were talking about when the proper time was to play baseball on a field, huh?
I don't know what that laugh was. was, but that was my I'm not really laughing, but I'm laughing anyway laugh. Hope everybody enjoyed, because you'll never hear it again.
Sounds like something I've heard before, but I can't put my finger on it.
You know what it sounds like? The fucking, what are those called? The fruit trees? Remember those? The fucking trees that, like, shot out, like, fruit candy? And the Nostalgia Critic did a fucking video on it in the commercials?
I don't remember this at all.
I don't know. Alright, I was sounding extra homeless today, just like, ugh.
Remember the fruit trees and fucking shot out the fruit? And people are just like...
Not just the fruit candy.
And people are like, no, I don't remember that, you crazy homeless bastard. What are you talking about?
I wish... It's Wilford Brimley, just like, I wish homelessness upon you, diabetes.
There's a tree that shoots out fruit-flavored candy.
Anyway!
You got any crack?
You got any cocaine?
I'll suck your dick.
I'll suck your dick. So this Jurassic World clip I watched. So
Chris Pratt and what's her name?
Bryce Dallas Howard. Dylan, it sounds like a modern day Marvel movie. It sounds like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm not saying that's bad. It's funny, but I was watching and I'm like, it's not Jurassic Park to me. I don't know.
They didn't have like a drum snare, did they? Like fucking Chris Pratt pressed the joke.
He's funny. He's great, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll work in context. Listen, the Jurassic Park movies have plenty of comedy in them. I'm not saying they're like dark and serious, but like they're very funny movies. Like they've got plenty of levity in them, but it's just like the kind of like quick wit, like the back and forth dialogue.
Especially 1 and 3. There's not a ton of comedy in the second movie.
No, there is. Having rewatched it recently, there is. It's the tone is overall darker, and the comedy itself is a little bit more subdued. It's also not as funny as the first movie.
And then fucking Vince Vaughn's like, hey, I took all their bullets. Isn't that funny? It's like, no, you asshole.
Vince Vaughn has a couple moments. I don't know. I always like the moment. I don't know why, where fucking why'd you join Greenpeace? Women, and then Jeff Goldblum goes, it's noble.
I just want when he fucking does that, he's like, hey, I took their bullets. Oh, I just fucking want fucking Attenborough to come out of the shadows and just be like, people are dying.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't finish talking about this last week, so let me bring this up before we go. We didn't finish talking about the whole lysine thing from the first movie, why they bring that up?
We didn't.
No, I don't think we did, because we didn't emphasize how, like, out of nowhere Molden bringing it up is. Like, it's not gonna do anything.
Well, I think I said this in the last episode. The fucking thing about it is, the way they talk about it in the movie, and this is how I pictured it when I was a child, is that this was some sort of, like, button. Like, on the computer.
Yeah, we talked about that, but it's like, okay.
Like a kill switch on the computer that they could kill or push, and it would kill all the dinosaurs somehow. And that's not it at all. It's just like, hey, basically what he's saying is, hey, we could always stop feeding them.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing, but here's the thing I didn't bring up last week. Then Hammond goes, people are dying. And it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's bringing it up. Because it almost seems like he's like, why do you care about that now? People are dying. It's like, he cares about that because guess what's killing them? The fucking dinosaurs.
He's just regurgitating what fucking Ellie said to him fucking when they were eating ice cream. Shit. She was all like, fucking, people are dying. And then fucking...
That's part of that. That's part of the point.
Fucking next scene, he's like, people are dying. And I'm like, oh, who's fucking on this side of the equation now? Fucking flip.
She has, like, nothing to do in the book. She's kind of pointless in the book.
You know, they gave her a little bit more of a role in the movie.
She's way better in the movie.
She talks to Hammond, and then she finds Sam Jackson's hand. It's, you know.
She, like, does shit in the movie. I mean, she has a relationship with Alan Grant. She doesn't have that in the book either.
Also, she's got that...
She's basically there so that way somebody can be like, I'll fucking tie up Ian Malcolm's wounds. Why not?
I don't remember if this happened in the book, but she points out the whole thing. Because, you know, there's Jurassic Park's all about taking this concept and pointing out all the shit they did wrong. She's the one who points out that whole you pick plants because they look good thing. But they're fucking poisonous.
That's in the book. I just don't know if she said it. It's either her or Ian Malcolm. It's one of those two. It would make sense if she said it, though, because she's a fucking paleobotanist.
Yeah, like Ian Malcolm says it, and she's like, oh, I should have thought of that. And you'd be like, fucking,
Dylan.
Yeah, you should have.
So, Dylan, it's the thing about the book. In the book, Alan Grant mentions that some of the dragonflies that are around Jurassic Park are prehistoric, and I'm like, How is that a thing? How'd they manage that? How'd they get the fucking insect DNA?
Okay, so a mosquito bit a dragonfly.
Does that happen?
I don't know.
Because that sounds like it doesn't happen. That doesn't sound like they do that.
Fucking when a mosquito and a dragonfly love each other very much. They fucking.
Where'd they get the bug DNA?
They fucking leave hickeys. I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Same thing with the plants in Jurassic Park 1. Where'd they get the plant DNA from?
Could it be that a bug, a fucking dragonfly, landed on a tree and got encapsulated in amber the same way that the mosquito did?
It's possible.
And then
No, but then you have the same problem with fossilization. No, you wouldn't. No, you're right. You're
would be
right.
imprisoned in fucking amber, you know.
Okay, that works. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the mosasaur in Jurassic World. How they got that?
How the fuck did they get that DNA?
Well, they have aquatic reptiles in the Jurassic Park Builder.
I was about to bring that up, and it's so fucking stupid because basically you send away a submarine, and it comes back with some DNA, and it's like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, you know, the ocean.
It's like it was just lying around Jurassic Park, just prehistoric DNA.
Because in that game, I guess DNA is just like a thing that you find on the ground, and you pick it up, and you're like, hey, I found DNA.
I found DNA! Ooh, Mr. DNA, where'd you come from? From your blood.
Oh, that hurt.
Ouch, John. Relax, John. It's all part of the miracle of cloning. Oh, hello, John. Hello, John. Hello, John. Hello, John. Dylan, you and I need to do an audio rendition of Jurassic Park, not the book, the movie, where we just recite all the lines from the movie.
Fucking just take the script.
No, not even this. We have to do it from memory.
Oh, shit.
Gatekeeper, raise the gates.
Wonder how many we would fuck up.
Probably a lot.
Just little lines, subtle things, like how everybody fucks up the Luke, I am your father line. Like, I just fuck.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of the lines, I don't know what the fuck people are saying because of their accents, so Molden says something like after the raptor attacks the guy at first, and I don't know what the fuck he's saying. He says like, I'm like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah. But then he's like, shoot her!
Shoot her! Shoot her! Oh.
And my question has to be, did anybody ever fucking shoot the damn thing?
Yeah, they did. I mean, you hear gunshots. I guess they missed. Unless they killed that raptor and there's just more of them.
Yeah.
In the book, there's a crap load of them.
Unless that raptor that bit that guy is like the main female, because you know in the movie, like, and I think in the book he mentions that there's like one dominant female.
Yeah, and then we introduced the main female, and she came in and killed all but two of the others.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
You can tell that she's figuring things out.
Yeah. What if
she had them attacking the defenses systematically, checking them for weaknesses.
What if she's the one that bit the guy? That's the way I always imagined it when I was a child. I was like, she's the one that bit the fucking guy.
Okay.
That fucking bitch. Nah.
Oh, I imagine so.
Unless of course she has changed due to the frog DNA and now has a penis. I don't know.
Well, no. In the book, they explain that all the males are born in the wild. All the male dinosaurs. Obviously some of the ones they genetically engineer would have to be male because fucking otherwise the frog DNA wouldn't be necessary. But all the male raptors, I think, are seen in the wild. All the ones that are in that pen are fucking female. The other thing about the book is that they only have 2 T-Rexes, and one of them's an adult, one of them's a juvenile.
Yeah.
And they explain this weird thing where it's like they know the T-Rexes are female, but we refer to them as him because that's what the people who come to the park are going to automatically refer to them as.
Yeah, it's true.
So throughout the rest of the book, they just call the T-Rex a he, and I'm like, it's not a he though, it's a she.
It's true. It's like when I'm watching fucking King Kong, right? And the fucking V-Rex comes out, I automatically say, hey, look at that guy. I don't think to myself, I wonder if that T-Rex or V-Rex has a vagina.
Isn't that interesting though? Do you think maybe that's because we're dudes? maybe ladies are like, oh, that's a female because I associate with my gender.
No, I think it's a cultural thing. Like, monsters are typically seen as male. Like, if nobody told you that fucking, like, Mothra was a chick, well, maybe that's a bad example, but you know what I mean? Like, or like Biollante, right? If you saw the Biollante design and had no idea that it was supposed to be female, you would probably assume that it's male. There's some sort of cultural thing, I think, where we automatically assume that these things are male. Nobody bothers to go out into the field and, lift up the dinosaur skirts.
Right, exactly. So here's the other question about Biollante then. There's a line where Shirogami is like, oh, they're basically the same creature, referring to Biollante and Godzilla, and I'm like, no, they're not. They're different fucking genders. They're not the same creature if they're different genders, because you tell us that she's a female. I guess that they're like similar species, but they're not the same creature.
It's like, okay, here's a weird fuck.
Because the point he's making is like, okay, obviously they're not like, so it's like, oh, if his point is that they're the same, that they're similar species, but it's a male and female version of that DNA. No. His point is like they might as well both be Godzilla, and I'm like, no, they're fucking not.
Yeah, it's weird. Here's a weird fucking example.
Mm-hmm.
You know in King Kong Lives?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, having rewatched it upon receiving my DVD...
Oh no, Dylan, don't say this to me.
Not as bad as I remembered.
Oh, alright, fair enough.
Here's the thing, I think it opens pretty well. And I like...
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like the first half hour.
I like the first 30 to 45 minutes. Everything up until he breaks Lady Kong out of that thing is fine. And then I like the ending. It's the middle that's kind of... but
everything from after Kong gets knocked unconscious in the river forward is awful.
I mean, there's like that. Well, except I like the ending. I like the fucking his death.
And the ending is fun. His death is sad.
There's a baby Kong, and the baby Kong is not as cute as the fucking baby from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but
Did you ever? When I was a kid, the reason why I didn't watch those movies that much was I found that version of Kong absolutely terrifying. Like, if you ask my mother, she'll tell you, I would run in fear whenever the 76 King Kong movie came on, or whenever King Kong Lives came on.
Yeah, I always found him scarier than the other Kongs. It didn't stop me from watching it, but yeah, I see what you mean.
He's just more aggressive looking. He always looks like he's... Because the other thing is that he eats people in King Kong Lives, which is fucking... Whoa, that scared... I couldn't watch that movie for years because I was just like, ew, Kong eats people. That's gross.
Well, I mean, he's an ape, and they eat meat, and... Anyway.
Gorillas don't, though. I thought that was only chimpanzees that did that.
What, eat meat?
Yeah.
I think they're omnivores like us, man. They gotta... Like, I think their diets are...
Gorillas specific... I thought it was just chimps, though. I know chimps, like, get a bloodlust and kill monkeys, but I didn't know the gorillas did that, too.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think they have to...
I'm almost positive in saying that I think just chimpanzees are the ones that eat meat. I mean, I think, obviously, gorillas, they eat, like, insects and stuff, and, like, lizards, but I don't think they eat...
Because the thing is, I think most apes are more similar to us in that, I mean, they can live almost entirely on plants, but they have to, like, they have to supplement it with some meat, because there's some stuff that you just got to get out of the meat, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to... I'm not Jane Goodall. I don't know.
Doesn't Jane Goodall believes in Bigfoot?
Does she?
Yeah.
Sometimes I felt like Jane Goodall when I was a child in school, surrounded by idiots, but...
Surrounded by chimps.
Indeed, or chumps, if you will.
Well done. Well done, Dylan.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was giving a strange example around King Kong Lives. And then I got sidetracked by saying it's not as bad as I thought it was. Like the scene where they're at the party and the guy explains, oh, we think Borneo and then Kong's Island were once part of the same landmass. And I'm like, they put a lot more thought into the script than I...
And by the way, no, it wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't.
But still, I was like, they put more thought...
No, it fucking wasn't.
They put more thought into this than I thought they did. Anyway, the example that I was getting to is, you know, when they first meet Lady Kong, that flaming redhead, and then they fucking...
Fire crotch, yeah.
And they fucking catch her in the wild. And he doesn't... I mean, she's got, like, big-ass fucking hanging boobs and shit.
And he calls her he, yeah.
Yeah, but until after he's captured her and examined her, He's just like, he's like, he assumes it's a fucking dude. He's like, kill him with fire. That's not what he says, but you know what I mean. I don't remember the exact.
No, he says don't kill him.
Or, well, whatever. He says, whatever he says. I don't fucking remember. I wasn't paying.
I don't watch movies,
Whatever the fuck he said. I don't remember. It's been a long day. Whatever the fuck he said, he refers to it as...
Dylan, did you, like, run a marathon today or fucking take, like, a whole line of coke? Like, what happened to you, man? You sound disheveled.
I've been out all day, fucking... Just...
What have you been doing? Fucking running errands for fucking Walter White? Like, what have you been doing?
No, I just, living life. Anyway.
Alright, fair enough. All right.
Daily grind.
You're allowed to be tired. I was just you're never tired. You're usually pretty sharp as a tack, so you know.
Daily grind, you know how it is. Anyway, fucking... He fucking... what was I saying?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, he assumes that it's a male because that's what we do. And that's,
right, yeah.
And it took a long ass time to say that point, but that's...
I've always found that interesting.
We live in a... I hate throwing around this word anymore because the fucking feminists have ruined it, but we are in a patriarchal society.
We are.
And it's fuck you, feminists. I'm kidding.
I support them. Listen, everybody deserves to do whatever they want. I like the freedom of doing whatever the fuck I want. So you know what? They can do whatever the fuck they want.
The problem is...
Here's my controversial political statement, kids. Everybody, just do whatever the fuck you want.
It's a terrible...
Don't listen to anybody.
It's a terrible thing. Nah.
Just don't hurt anybody. That's the thing. Do whatever the fuck you want, just don't hurt anybody. That's all I ask. That's all I ask of you good people. Just don't be a dick and don't hurt anybody and do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Don't be a dick. Don't come up to me and ask me what I'm fucking reading. If I wanted you to know, I'd tell you what the fuck I was reading.
I love how that's your fucking thing that you bring up.
No, I hate when people ask.
That's your political example, is I hate it when people ask me what I'm reading.
No, I have a
Democratic dog.
I have a pet peeve. I hate when people, like, ask me about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I hate that too.
Like if I wanted you to...
Just to make small talk.
Or like, oh, you listening to music? No, I've just got these earphones in my ears for...
I hate it when people look at my Facebook screen when I'm checking Facebook. I hate that.
No.
And they're like, oh, look at that. That's I'm like...
Yeah, but they're like, are you listening to music? No, these things are just sitting in my ears doing nothing. Oh, what are you listening to? Well, if I wanted you to fucking know, I wouldn't have my earphones in, would I? Jesus.
Oh, shit. The thing that happened to me today was there was a meme floating around Toho Nation today of there was a picture of Gareth Edwards with like a gangster hat on.
Oh, I saw this. This was great.
And fucking it was like make a Godzilla movie and I was like, let's not put Godzilla in it. And somebody saw that and was like, and started talking shit about the new Godzilla, and I'm like, like that's a like a parody, right? Like it's not meant to be taken seriously. He's like, I don't care. I'm like, this is why I don't like people looking at my Facebook page because it starts shit.
Because they don't get it. They're not.
And the guy was an idiot. I'm fine. He was like, clearly knew nothing about Godzilla. And was just like, wasn't Gamera built to fight Godzilla? I'm like, dude. And I said to him, I was like, you need to stop talking now because it's too early for me to get this angry.
Wasn't Gamera built to fight Godzilla?
I was like, listen, man,
That's almost as bad as that meme that I love where the fucking retarded looking guy is like, there's no doubt about it, Gohan is the best Pokemon in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yep. I was like, listen, man, you're going to think I'm an asshole and I really don't care, but just shut the fuck up right now.
I fucking love that
before this escalates, because I'm going to get pissed.
There's no doubt about it. Gamera was built by Godzilla in Yu-Gi-Oh!
And I'm fully aware of how petty it is and how angry I get when people fuck this shit up. I'm fully aware of it. I just don't give a shit because it pisses me off, and I don't care that it's like petty.
Hello, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes.
I have diabetes.
It causes me to be short with my family, and it hurts me to pee. The other day, I got angry and struck my wife. Then I found out that my wife's been dead for 5 years. Who the hell did I hit?
Where the fuck did you get this from?
This is a thing on Family Guy once. He was
amazing.
like, hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes. Hurts me to pee, and it causes me to be short with my family. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I'm really...
Well, Dylan, I'm confident that there was something we were trying to say, and that we just never finished saying it.
Basically, we're talking about how we're, like, kind of antisocial assholes.
Well, on that note, we're really far in. So I said we wrap this up. So, do you have anything to announce? Because I really don't have anything.
No, nothing new, man.
I've just got a bunch of videos that I'm currently editing. I'm going to post, so you can see those as they come up. A bunch of stuff with Andreas.
There'll be a new Can I Just Spotlight at some point, and then fucking I'm doing another impromptu. Well, not really impromptu because it's almost scheduled, but I'm going to be doing another thing with Deadpoolzilla soon, and then fucking after all that shit, I'll start work on the next fucking Jew Ranger thing. So that's
so more stuff is to come from us here at the Demons from Outer Space that you can look forward to, get excited about, and fucking wet your whistle.
for you, Willie.
So. Free Willie.
Which would be a great. When I say great, I mean awful. But that would be an I should say interesting.
Great but awful.
It would be great for how funny it would be. Awful because it would not work and you might get hit. But it would be an interesting pickup line to use on a marine biologist.
Oh. Hey baby, want to free my Willie?
Want to free my Willie?
You will get slapped and have the cops called on you. You'll be Jim Jeffries and fucking legit. That's what's gonna happen to you.
Hey, are you Ahab? Because I think I can help you find Moby Dick.
Oh my God.
Your name's
Hey baby. Hey baby. Unlike Flipper, I ain't faster than lightning.
Your name's Sarazawa because you took my breath away.
That's my favorite. Anyway, guys, so that's going to do it for this week's fantastic episode of the Demons from Outer Space. Until next time, I'm Bill Worcester, a.k.a. Zazubaar.
How'd you like to be Cat Thura and control my Titanosaurus? I'm Super DM64.
And as always, Dem German, Davey fucked up, and also Wolford Grimley strikes his wife, even though she's been dead for 5 years.
Who the hell did I hit?
Good night, everyone.